stop the intrusion and adds its systems were not impacted by ransomware.
The Dow from Stifel's down 33 points to 42,138. And we've got a crash on 70 going west just past 141. That's got the right two lanes are closed and the shoulder as well. As you approach the bridge there, 70 west, just past 141, the right two lanes are closed because of a crash. Actually, update from MoDOT, the right three lanes are closed, so that's even worse there. Crash on 70 westbound at Jennings Station. All the lanes have just opened. Some road work on 67 Lindbergh South at Washington Street. That's got the right lane closed there.
Plenty of sunshine this afternoon, but the temperatures are going up compared to yesterday, and so is the humidity. 92 should do it for the high. Tonight, clear, warm, and humid. Temperatures mainly in the 80s for evening plans. Only 78 for the low. We're going to feel that. On Saturday, sunny, hot, and humid. 96 for the high. The heat index 105, 78 Saturday night. Sunday, sunny, hot, and humid, 97. Heat index on Sunday afternoon, 105 to 107. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
We've got some clouds. It's 88 in St. Peter's and Florissant, and 88 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Cash for Clunkers is back. Overhead Door Company of St. Louis is paying cash for your clunkers now. Schedule online at overheaddoorstlouis.com or call 314-781-5200. It's cash for clunkers now at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Good afternoon, St. Louis, DGS 104.1 FM KMOX. I was hesitating talking because once I start, I can't stop. It's one of those days, like we all have those days where I'm in a good mood. I have good show prep. I think it's going to be a good show. Looking forward to it. But just something you got to do. Does that make sense? I don't know whether it's my own mental illnesses that do that or if it's just a human thing, but just something where it's like, even if it's something that's not unpleasant, where you're like, can't get out of it, makes me want to get out of it. Makes me want to just go, oh.
Well, let's break it down. It's Friday.
Yes.
It's summer.
Hot.
Yeah. I think it's normal to be like, I don't really feel like.
It's also very unfair, I think, to us to let us have a day off in the middle of the week and then be like, oh, but you do have to come in still and do Friday.
Yes.
It's like, what?
Yeah.
Come on now.
It is weird.
I think we're fine.
I spent much of yesterday thinking it was Saturday and then being like, oh, why is it gonna work
what would
tomorrow?
any of us be doing that would be more fun than what these hours will be?
It's not the fun, because it's definitely more fun than if I were by myself.
It's just less responsibility, right?
Yeah.
I get it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
For me, the only thing I hate about, like, quote, working is the drive. Everything else is cool, but the drive is just a lot. But that was my choice. I chose to live in the wilderness. So what are you gonna
Oh,
do?
man. Let me share a victory. It's the smallest of victories, but remember the tomato plant I bought at Schnucks?
Yes.
Gave me its first tomato, about the size of a kid's fist. That's a strange reference, Dave.
Yeah, Dave.
And
A little bit.
oh my God, it's the best tomato I've ever had in my life.
Really?
Even allowing for it's my tomato, right?
Yeah.
Where you're going to go like, it's the best tomato I've ever had. It's the best tomato I've ever had.
Homegrown is better.
Yeah.
How did you eat it? Did you just eat it by itself?
Oh, in the most South Roxana Hoosier way possible.
Peanut butter?
A tomato and Miracle Whip sandwich.
Okay.
That sounds good.
It was good.
My wife is a big fan of the tomato and peanut butter sandwich.
What?
Woo.
Like tomato, big, juicy, homegrown tomato slices on a peanut butter sandwich.
No, thank you.
Loves them.
Is this a thing?
I'd never heard of that
I have
before.
no idea. I thought you guys would be all like, that's the way.
No, never
That
heard of that.
is,
Never heard of that in my life.
That's actually kind of frightening.
You should be frightened of her.
You're just making that up, right?
It's turns out it's from the 1930s, from the Settlement Cookbook.
Oh my God, they actually do that.
Yep, settlement cookbook.
Why would anybody do
You're
that?
living one of the weirdest lives.
Sounds about right.
I love tomatoes and I love peanut butter.
Is
But
cooking out of the settlement.
Here's the thing. She is a little bit weird with food because she grew up. Well, much of her family is like hill folk, so she is very familiar with all the squirrel brains and tail soup.
What did you just say? A bunch of Hill Williams.
Yeah, a bunch of hill folk.
It's like they're from the Shire.
And then she also, with her food allergy, she couldn't when we were all eating like ice cream and butter on like grilled cheeses and stuff. She had to find other things that she would enjoy, and that's where she would come up with peanut butter and tomato slices
To chase her squirrel brains.
to chase her squirrel brains and tail soup.
Okay. All right.
You say to her I asked her if she'd ever had pig feet because we were watching a guy boil some pig feet. I asked her if she'd ever eaten that.
You were watching a guy boiling pig feet?
Yeah, he was doing like a big boil, and
like
he was throwing some pig feet in there because he couldn't find the turkey necks. And I asked her if she'd ever had pig feet, and she's like, "No, I've only had the snoot."
I've had snoot.
Have you had snoot?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've had snoot.
Mm.
It wasn't bad.
Mm.
I imagine it's not. I imagine the feet probably aren't bad either.
Mm.
I mean, why would
Trotters,
people eat them?
They're called.
Trotters?
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. Very cute.
Maybe then.
well, I'm happy for your tomato, Dave.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'll eat another one, but
Put some peanut butter on that bad boy.
no, there's some things I just don't even want to try.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I never thought it sounded
That
good either.
doesn't sound good to me either.
I have an ongoing drama. So I use this service called Lawn Guru, and it's basically like a DoorDash where I pay the company $40-50. They pay the person whatever. I tip the person,
Mhm.
So you have a bunch of providers that will, bid for your job and get it and what have you. And the person I have, who I won't say their name for obvious reasons, could be a fan of the show. They can message you through the app. And I'm not their only person. They're not just messaging me. They're messaging all their people. And so I'm on Fridays. There's not a chance in hell I'll get my lawn mowed today. It could be by Tuesday. But by Tuesday, this lady's husband's going to have meningitis, hot dog fingers, toxic malaise. Everything goes wrong with these people.
On Friday.
And it's always like, look, I know we're supposed to be there. This is like a month running now. And I can cancel that provider and they'll give me a new one, but I'm enjoying the drama.
Dave's like, I like the stories.
Like it is. I go in there every Friday and I'm never disappointed. It's always like, oh, my husband got something stuck in his big toenail and we have to go to the ER. We're going to the Mayo Clinic and just.
So is he
He seems to be the problem.
lawn cutter guy, or is it the lady that's the lawn cutter lady?
She's the business.
The business.
I got you.
face.
But a guy shows up.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
she's the front of house. He's the laborer.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And he cuts his toe off a lot.
Yeah. Just kind of interesting.
Well, now at this point, you have to see if they'll ever see it through. I think that's your responsibility at this point.
Yeah. And when they show up with like a trailer full of.
Nice. So they got all the tools and
Yeah.
everything.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
And they do a decent
good job?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
do a decent job. So, but it's just kind of entertaining.
That is funny.
Also had a weird DoorDash last night.
Mhm.
The person, I didn't talk to them because I'm not human anymore. So I sat just within my hidey hole watching them deliver it.
Dave's like,
And then I waited until they walked off and I started to open the door, but I guess they didn't get a good picture. So they turned around and came back and I scurried.
It's
I
like,
literally scurried
did you scamper?
off to the side. And then when they finally left for real, I got the bag and there was a Post-it note handwritten from my dasher saying, hey, it's my 30th birthday today and I'm dashing. Something a little extra would be appreciated. And then gave me like their Cash App number.
I don't think you should do that.
That's
Yeah.
ridiculous. I'm sorry.
Now, what I have had,
especially since we all know you already tipped.
I did.
And you tipped more than most people would.
Tipped pretty well.
Yeah.
what
That's
I do
ridiculous.
love, and Megan and I are thinking of doing this for ourselves, is a calling card. Like it's dropped in the bag and it's a little like business card or whatever. And it's like you just got delivered by the Dashing Lovebirds or something. I think those are great. I've gotten a bunch of those. I think those are adorable.
I can tell you're not workshopping the Dashing Lovebirds. I can tell this has had some discussion already.
Well, I thought of it a little bit ago.
It's a pretty, as long as that's allowed, it's a pretty good idea.
I don't know how much it's allowed, but I've whenever I've gotten them, I think they're cute. Like when I open the bag and I see
You've
like
already been fired once and you don't know why. Maybe take the first month easy.
I mean, I've seen other people do it.
Well,
It's not like begging for more money. It's just like, hey, hope you enjoy the food. My name was Jeff.
What benefit do you get from that?
Yeah, can I request the Lovebirds?
Yeah.
No, but it's like it's good to have a reputation. It's good to have a rapport with the people that I think I've told the story before, but I delivered to somebody a bunch of times, and eventually they told me like I get very excited when I see your name pop up because I know that everything's going to be delivered well and you're going to do a good job. And so I think it's just a part of that. It's just sort of, if you're working in the same space all the time, if you're like in the same city delivering.
Yeah.
I think it's nice to have a little rapport.
Go ahead, Rich.
Back to the Post-it.
Yeah.
There's a couple of reasons why it's wrong to me. The first being, I have no way of confirming that it's actually your 30th birthday.
Right.
I mean, I have no way of confirming that. So I have to take you at your word.
Is it your 5th birthday of the year?
Right. And then we've reached a point in society, bless you, Dave, where it is somehow acceptable to be like, hey, please give me more money on top of the money you already gave me. Like that. And then you're the jerk if you don't do it. Like then it puts you in the position of like, I told him it was my 30th birthday and he still didn't send me another $10. Like the whole thing is so icky and wrong to me.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I'll be on Reddit and the DoorDash subreddit comes up quite a bit. And a lot of it is screenshots of Dashers asking for more than the tip they already willingly took. And it's like, I get it. You want to make money. That's the reason you're doing DoorDash. But you could say no to that order, right? I mean,
with the same lady last night, I had a weird people-pleasing thing I wanted to run by you guys. She messaged me. She was an excellent DoorDasher. She had to wait a long time for my food. I got it from Landry's.
Okay.
Because I'm rich. And and so I knew it was going to take a while, and she had to wait for quite a while. And she messaged me on the app and said, sorry, it's taking quite a while. I'm still waiting. And I said, no problem. Thanks for letting me know. And I should have just sent it. But I put comma, so sorry it's taking so long. Now, that's perfectly courteous. I don't regret it, but it poked me in my people pleasing because I could have just said, thanks for letting me know. But I felt like I had to go on and apologize for something that was not my responsibility. Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a nothing interaction, but it made me go, oh, why do you do this?
I understand.
It drives you to be like this. Because I'm afraid she'd be mad at me. I'm afraid my DoorDasher's going to be mad at me. Then I get a note from her asking me for money that I'm not going to send.
It's a lot of drama. The DoorDash, the Instacart. Like I said, these subreddits pop up a lot for me just in my feed. And a lot of times it's just people posting their bad experience or they're frustrated or this and this. And I'm like, dude, if it's so frustrating, just go to the store yourself and get it yourself. Like I'm not saying that's what you're doing.
No,
I'm just saying
there's a quick fix.
You see it over and over. People are like, I'm so unhappy. This is the 3rd time this week. It's like, just go to Schnucks yourself.
Say Dave's not the one going on Reddit complaining.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, no, but I mean, like you stated, it's just a part of life.
Yeah.
You're not coming in here like, what's wrong with all these people?
No. Just like weird little things.
Yeah.
Idiosyncrasies kind of thing. Smart Mouth Rach?
Yeah. So the thing about Smart Mouth is it actually works, which is really nice because most mouth rinses out there, they don't actually work. They mask your bad breath, but it comes creeping back within an hour or so. With Smart Mouth, you can have 24-hour bad breath protection if you use it once in the morning and once at night. That's because Smart Mouth binds to the bacteria in your mouth and prevents it from producing stinky sulfur gas, which is your bad breath. Smart Mouth has the only formula on the market that eliminates your bad breath at the source.
3 types of Smart Mouth I'm going to highlight. One is, of course, gum health. because I have gingivitis. And if you do too, it sucks. If you don't go to the dentist enough and you brush your teeth, there's a little blood when you spit it out. Use the Gum Health. That's what dentists tell you to use to repair your gums. Secondly is the mouth sore. If you have canker sores or fever blisters or like a little lye thing on my tongue, and that made it go away in one day. And then the kids formula. There's a kids formula that has special flavors that they're going to love and get them started on good oral hygiene. We can save you $2.50 off anything you buy by going to smartmouth.com/Glover.
You log into your DSP. It's confusing. Where do you build a campaign? Where's the report? Targeting's vague, CTV's tacked on and overpriced. Then you find Viant. Setup? Just a chat prompt. AI does the rest. Targeting? People-based and precise across premium publishers. Measurement? Transparent, outcome-driven. And CTV? We've led since streaming meant something. Viant is the DSP that actually gets advertising. Still trading on a desk? Visit Viant.ai to unlock real results today.
At California Psychics, we know some people can't read the career warning signs, like your boss still not knowing your name.
You, Tina, Lisa, Sheila, whatever. Get that report to me by lunch, okay? It's Carrie, ma'am. Just get it done, Terry.
So talk to California Psychics and receive the career guidance you need. We only connect you with the very best, so guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. California Psychics. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com today for limited time offers.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I'm Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey. It is my duty to protect Missouri consumers from fraud and deception. In the last year alone, we've secured over $400 million in restitution, settlements, and judgments. If you've been a victim of a fraud or scam, please report it to our office at 1-800-392-8222 or visit ago.mo.gov.
Sponsored by the Missouri Attorney General's Office.
Don't let mosquitoes ruin your time outdoors. At Rottler Pest Solutions, our mosquito control services are designed to dramatically reduce mosquito activity so you can enjoy your yard in peace. Take back your yard. Visit Rottler.com today to learn more and schedule your free inspection.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. I see clearly now thanks to the doctors, Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andy Royer. You can too. YourEyeDoc.com.
104.1 FM KMOX, the voice of St. Louis. Stronger than ever.
Welcome back, DGS on KMOX. Happy Friday. Smiley for Baseball says, listen to the podcast. All I can say is more, please.
Oh,
yeah, it was fun. That's a fun podcast. Where do people find it? I don't know how podcasts work.
Just the same place you'd find the rest of
they're
ours.
on all
You
of
can
them.
Find them on the website
Anywhere
or
you get
any
your
podcasting
podcasts.
service.
So just for me, is it in the stack of everything else, or is it like separate from the regular DGS?
It is in the stack of everything else. There's no real way to separate it in a way that would make it
what's
easy
it called,
to find.
basically?
Baseball bonus podcast.
Okay.
So I named it.
There you go. Fine. Jake says, proud Dave didn't give any more tip. That's growth. Yeah, you're right. I didn't think about that. Surprised I didn't just walk out and give her a $20 bill. Like, happy birthday.
Here.
She looks like 55.
Yeah,
She's
right.
Definitely not her 30th
30
birthday.
again.
It's that vomiting baby again.
Right.
Do you remember the time, Dave, we were walking down the sidewalk out here and an unhoused lady asked for money, and I feel like I gave her a couple of bucks, and she was like, "It's my birthday," and I'm walking away. I'm like, I can't believe it. It was her birthday, and I helped her, and you're like, I don't think it was her birthday. I like totally fell for it. I was like, oh man, I did my good deed of the day.
Oops. Do you guys think, I was thinking about, I'm pretty sure I will walk Phoebe down the aisle. She's fairly traditional for Gen Z. She's Z or Alpha?
I would think she's Z.
Yeah, I think she's Z.
Because Alpha, I think, is like.
But do you guys think that within a generation or so, those sorts of kind of old-timey things will go away? A lot of traditions?
No, because I think that's a tradition that everybody likes. Like, that's not a tradition that's like,
I figured giving away the bride was sort of anachronistic now.
I think maybe that's just not how it's looked at, right? Like, it's looked at less as like the father giving away the bride and more just like the father joining the bride on this walk down the altar together. My not to drop the W word, but my brother and his new wife are pretty woke, and I think that's kind of how it was looked at their wedding.
Gotcha.
Less of a giving away and
Because
more
it's
just like a joining.
It's a real treat for the dad. It would be terrible to take that away.
Yeah.
Like, even if we recouch it, it would be nice to have that. It's a nice thing.
That's the thing. It's a nice thing that people like.
I've seen a lot of I've been at some weddings where it's both the mom and the dad that do it.
No.
They walk down on each side.
I would do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think a lot of brides are a little nervous and like having someone with them. You know, I watch a lot of 90 Day Fiance.
No one settles your nerves like me.
I watch a lot of 90 Day Fiance, and the whole point is like they have to get married in 90 days. And a lot of times the bride or the groom are from a different country. They don't have any family with them, and they'll walk down the aisle with like their spouse's uncle or something. And it's just always really nice.
And another generational thing. I ordered Burger King the other night, and I got a Whopper, and it was excellent, but it wasn't as good as when I was young. To what degree do you think that is like literally your brain aging and watercoloring everything? And to what degree do you think like, no, Whoppers were better, ding dongs were better, stuff was better? What do you think? Because you're old enough now that you can remember back and things were different.
I mean, there are Hostess is a great example. Hostess is actually not the same formulas as it was 20 years ago. So I think it's totally fair to say that. And I think, it's got to be the case for most fast food. You were getting a certain level of quality that they just can't keep meeting those standards and then selling it to you at a cheap price in 2025.
Isn't that sad?
I'm telling you, Taco Bell used to have so much flavor in their taco shells because they were using like chicken corn feed. And then they got in trouble for it, and they had to stop doing it. And now there's way less flavor in the shells because they had to use.
I'm so glad to hear you guys say this.
Yeah. So things are definitely always. This is, I brought up my wife's food allergy earlier. This is something that you have to be very vigilant about because fast food places are constantly changing their recipe. So what might not have had milk in it, 6 months ago, last time you had a chicken nugget, now it does. Because they changed the recipe for whatever reason, probably always in pursuit of finding a cheaper way to make it.
Except for the cases where they're like, we need to upgrade these, right? Like where McDonald's way back in the day upgraded the nugget because they sucked. There was a long time where they were just awful and they were all like rubbery and blue. And now they're actually pretty decent. They changed it because of that. But I think there's a lot of what you're talking about, Dave. There's a lot of companies that just change the recipe for various reasons. And then there's some of it is just like, we remember it being better than it was because everything seemed cooler when you're 18.
This is Tom Ackerman. McKelvey Homes, founded in 1898, gives $1,898 back to nonprofits for every home that they sell. 1898. And this time around, it's to Circle of Concern, a food pantry in Valley Park. Most recently, McKelvey Homes gave back to the Foster and Adoptive Care Coalition for the 28 homes that they sold in the first quarter of the year. McKelvey Homes, McKelveyhomes.com.
So Dr. Corey Solman is kind of a strange live endorsement because I don't want anything bad to happen to you guys. I don't want anything bad to happen to my family. And so I kind of hope that you never meet Dr. Solman professionally. But KMOX has a big enough audience out there and thousands of people and car accidents and sports and slip and falls and those kinds of things. Any number of you during 2025 are going to need to see an orthopedic surgeon. Now, whether you do or not, and let me make this point for this live endorsement. It's not like the olden days when you have to call your general practitioner and get a referral and he sends you to his or her golf buddy. You can call Dr. Corey Solman, 636-231-5881, SolmanOrthopedics.com. Let him know that, hey, I'm from the DGS and I can tell you, proof positive, that does help. That does grease the wheels. That does get you in, especially if it's something emergent. That if someone just took a bad fall or they just had a car accident and you need to see them quick, they will get you in. Whether it's a sprained ankle or it's a green stick compound fracture, a back issue, whatever it happens to be, you can trust Corey. He is one of the best surgeons just when it comes to knowledge and dexterity. He's a very easy guy to talk to, very affable, very charming, very funny. Again, that's Solman, SOLMAN, SolmanOrthopedics.com.
Dave Murray's forecast is brought to you by Chesterfield Fence and Deck.
The summer steam bath starts to take over this afternoon. Today, though, just kind of the transition day. Sunny, it's warmer, it's more humid. Winds turn to the south. 92 for the high. Tonight, clear, warm, and humid. Only 78 for the overnight low. Saturday, sunny, hot, humid, though a touch of a breeze from the south. Not going to help much. 96 for the high. The heat index Saturday afternoon, 105. 78 again Saturday night. Sunday, sunny, hot, and humid, 97. Heat index Sunday afternoon, 105 to 107. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Chesterfield Fence and Deck is your premier provider of fences, decks, patios, sunrooms, and more. Call them for a free estimate today. Now offering 20% off your next outdoor project. Chesterfield Fence and Deck, chesterfieldfence.com.
Rhino Shield is far superior to even the best traditional exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Rhino Shield is the only ceramic coating company that has been chosen by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where every episode is concentrated on unpainted brick, bonds and seals to stucco, wood, hardy, block, color lock, masonite, and more. No better product for those steel aluminum-sided homes that have become, chalky and tired looking. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. After 15 years, we've got a great reputation and a superior product. As long as it's affordable, why wouldn't you do it? Before you make the costly mistake of painting with traditional paint, you'd be best served to call Rhino Shield today. We are the experts and our evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
We all have someone we love, like the favorite lyric in our favorite song. You can't imagine life without them. So tell them today, I love you. Get screened. It could help save their life. Visit cancer.org/getscreened to learn more.
You had a solid retirement dream, sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, and travel. But with an unpredictable economy and the future feeling uncertain, you're wondering if that equity will still be there when you're ready. What if you could bank that equity right now? With TrueHold, you can sell your home for its current value so you can access your equity today. You can bank the cash now and stay in the home you love with an easy standard lease. TrueHold even covers property taxes, insurance, and repairs. And since TrueHold hands over your equity in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you like. Don't let a shifting economy put your hard-earned equity at risk. Visit TrueHold.com and receive their competitive offer on your home in just 48 hours, based on its best current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. That's TrueHold.com.
Tonight, the Cards, the Reds. Ameren Total Access 520. Cardinals Radio. 104.1 FM KMOX.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 1041 FM KMOX. Happy Friday to you. Beautiful out there. It's going to be hot as balls. Oh, my God. This weekend, 98 degrees on Sunday.
Boof.
Woo-hoo.
Maybe we can get Dave Murray to change it for us.
Could. He owes us one. God knows that. Carried that guy for 25 years now.
This is the oldest man thing I'm ever going to say.
Okay.
Well, maybe not ever, but for now. This Sunday will be what every single day was in Miami for my 4 years of college during the baseball season.
That's pretty old, Manny.
From April until we got out of school in June.
Mm-hmm.
It was every day like that. And it sucked.
It's a really
it was hard.
It's a really interesting decision for a pale ass ginger to make to go down to Miami.
Yeah, well, I mean, I really liked Miami Vice.
Oh, there you go.
Actually, even when I was a
Say
kid,
no more.
when I was about 10 or 11, I actually started following the baseball program down there because my grandmother lived down there.
Yeah.
So I would read the sports pages, and I started reading about this national championship team. So
yeah.
It was more than that, but boy, it was hard. The weather was hard.
Izzy is with us. She's a new sales account executive here. Are you old enough to know what Miami Vice is? Okay.
Yay!
Can you imagine
Not the
him
movie, the TV show.
Can you imagine him dressed like Miami Vice? No, thank you. No.
I rocked it.
No.
I rocked it.
How did you find suits where you could roll the sleeves up over those giant arms?
I just had
of
to
yours?
get. First of all, I was 18.
Okay. See, I picture you being born just like you are now.
Yeah. Yeah. Not quite.
I have a couple animal stories.
Ooh, okay.
So there is a family that has owned a 150-year-old turtle for at least the last 100 years. So the grandmother, who's 90, grew up with the turtle, and then her kids, and now this woman who's in her 40s, 50s, maybe somewhere around there, now takes care of the turtle with her kids. And it acts like a dog, like an old, crusty, prehistoric
It just
dog.
comes to them, yeah.
But it comes to them, and it plays, and it chases, and it just lives with the family.
That's cool.
Nice.
And it's huge. It's one of those like tortoises.
Yeah, big one.
Yeah.
One you could probably ride on.
150 years old.
Did you
Dude.
say their name?
No.
Does he have a name?
Oh, yes. Yes, he does.
40.
I don't know. It's like
Shorty, yeah.
Milo or something like that.
He's on like the high end of the age spectrum if he's 150.
Is he?
Yeah, because according to AI, they can live over 100 with some even reaching 150. So he's like he's
Dead man walking.
Well, I don't know about that. I just mean he's an outlier.
You guys know what a capybara is?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're all the rage lately.
Really?
I found out last night from a TikTok that, isn't it funny? TikToks are now like college. You know, it's like, oh, where'd you learn that? College? I'd learn everything from TikTok. That every animal loves a capybara.
Really?
You know, like a watering hole?
Yeah, so they're all friendly in the wild.
Yes, even the alligators. They can just walk up to an alligator. They can ride on an alligator's back. I saw it happen last night.
Do they taste bad?
I don't know. Scientists can't figure it out. They think that they put off some sort of a pheromone.
Okay.
That other animals
Says I'm
just
not food.
Want them along.
And it just says I'm not food?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Something like that.
Because they're pretty big, right? Like for a rodent.
It's the largest living rodent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
120 pounds, 130 pounds.
Yeah.
It's a big rat.
So it's a big ass dog.
Maybe they're just freaked out by it.
Yeah, they're like, oh no.
Oh my God, that giant rat's back.
They're cool looking.
And then there was a challenge. It's going to go bad. Would you punch your dog right before it was put down for $1 billion?
No.
No.
Andrew's really thinking.
Yeah, I mean, yes.
Okay.
There's almost nothing on earth that I wouldn't do for $1 billion.
Would you punch me right before I was put down for $1 billion?
Yeah, I think I
I
would.
would actually be better with it being a human.
Yeah, because you could explain.
Because I
to
can
the
tell you if you
human.
said, would you do that to your dad on his deathbed? He'd probably tell me to. And then I'd feel better about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if your dog didn't want you to do that, your dog didn't love you.
But the
They
dog
don't
doesn't
understand.
understand. So its final memory is its world, its human, causing it extreme pain
While it's scared.
while it's scared and dying.
Yep.
That's their
That's
final
mean, man.
memory. I don't think I could do it. I wouldn't do it.
What if
to
he did
Lucy.
something like this? Hey, a donut. And then
I would not.
No.
No. Subterfuge doesn't help, huh?
No, but I would do though is
What $1 billion could do for your family.
The person that offered me that's the person. That's who's getting punched.
Okay. Well, it was me. So.
No, sorry, Dave. You got punched. That'd be a nice punch.
A nice punch.
Wait, you got $1 billion to offer?
I've told you I'm rich over and over again. How many times do I have to tell you this?
I got to be nicer.
I'm kidding. But if I did, and I could give it away, that's the kind of stuff I'd give it away for.
You're gonna make somebody be mean. It's so not true.
Why do we think Humpty Dumpty was an egg?
Because all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put them together again.
Okay, hold on. You're going way too far. I learned several things last night. I learned that Humpty Dumpty was not an egg.
No.
I learned that it's not all the king's horses. It's all the king's horsemen. Because I grew up saying all the king's horses.
And all the king's men.
Right. Let's Google it and find out which it is.
Yeah, but it's about a person.
But it's about a person.
Yeah.
And at some point, someone said he's an egg, and we all just went with it.
They drew it that way, I think, so that when kids heard the rhyme, they wouldn't be freaked out by it.
Oh, interesting.
I'm not 100%, but I think that's true.
Okay.
It's kind of like all of the nursery rhymes and all those little songs from like England, but they're all terrible. They're all about the plague or about somebody being murdered. You know?
Yeah.
London Bridge falling down, literally.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like Lewis Carroll portrayed him as an egg in Through the Looking Glass.
Oh. He was a weird dude.
Who's that?
Lewis Carroll.
I'm not sure I know that person.
Alice in Wonderland.
Alice in Wonderland.
Oh, yeah, that's a weird person.
Alice was his 12-year-old cousin.
Oh, my
who he was
goodness.
obsessed with. Yeah.
Really?
Is it all the king's horses or
Good
horsemen?
question. Let's look it up. The common text from 1882 is all the king's horses and all the king's men.
For once, we're not just East Side Hoosiers. Good.
But they're trying to do it with their hooves.
Yeah, that's what I always pictured. Like, well, yeah, I wouldn't think the horses could put the egg back together.
So apparently, according to the Library of Congress, that it was about Richard III, although others say that it was a rhyme that described like them getting hit by a cannon. And then you know what happens when you get hit by a cannonball.
Knocks the yolk out of you. Right out of you.
Oh, man.
What do you guys think of this one? So this lady, every time I say it, I sound like Jerry Lewis. This lady.
Now I can't hear it.
I know. This lady has a terrible fear of dolls to the point that she wants to go on disability, which seems avoidable. But she told her boss about this debilitating fear of dolls. And her boss, not sure if it's a he or a she, started putting a Chucky doll on her desk every day. See, look at Zimmerman over there. She's already laughing. You're punching the dog. And so she freaked out so bad, she had to miss a bunch of work. And now she's, and then they gave her an accommodation where she gets to leave at 3 p.m. 3 days a week to go get therapy because of the Chucky doll. She's getting therapy. I mean, look, I've done 20 years of therapy. That's half a session. It's a doll. It's not real. And then you go home. So, and now she's suing for gazillions of dollars because they were mean to her. What do you think?
I mean, I hate to be like, that's not a real valid fear, but she kind of tipped her hand a little bit when she said she wanted to go on disability because she's so afraid of dolls. Like, sorry if I sound callous or mean, but you could just avoid dolls in your daily life. Yes, it's messed up for your boss to put a Chucky doll on your desk. They shouldn't have done that.
But they messed up. The company messed up by giving her the upper hand here by bullying her, right? Like, you can't bully your employees at work. And so this is somebody who, if you say you're trying to get on disability because you're scared of dolls, you're obviously just trying to cheat the system in some way. You're trying to get free money. And I think it was a big mistake to give somebody like that. So they gave
it to her on a silver platter.
Yeah, you just handed it up to her on a silver platter by being like, what if we bullied her? She clearly isn't trying to get anything out of anybody.
Why is that any different than someone that's got a fear of clowns?
Yeah, I don't think you should miss work because
Well,
you're
no, but I
afraid
mean,
of
there are
clowns.
people that are debilitated by clowns. Like they will have a panic attack if they see a clown. There's that lady on Maury Povich that had a panic attack because she's afraid of pickles.
Yeah, olives.
Yeah. Oh, olives.
It was
That's
olives,
what it was. It was
Kevin.
It looked like
olives.
her
It was
grandfather's
olives.
dead eyes.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like all
Still
of those
scares me.
things are real. And why is any one less real than others? Even if, because I mean, agree, it sounds silly. It's a doll, but there are people that are afraid of inanimate objects. People will lose their minds on a bug. They have fear of spiders. So if he puts a spider on the desk, how is that any different than doing the dolls?
Yeah, well, it's not. That's also wrong.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Like I don't think there's anything. I mean, it's a strange fear, but it's still a fear. And you told people I'm afraid of these things, and then your boss says, "Ho ho ho."
If we were living in Wheeler World before the boss does that,
Yeah.
someone comes to you and says, "I have a debilitating fear of dolls, clowns, spiders, whatever. I can't work. Pay me a couple $1,000s a month and disability." Do you do it?
No, I just wouldn't put a doll on their desk or whatever it is they're afraid of.
Yeah, Andrew kind of nailed it when he said the work has now like completely spoiled the situation by giving her a reason to be a victim. They did victimize her and like bully her. Now we can't even have a conversation about how stupid the doll fear is because it's like she's been validated.
And if it's a workplace,
you handed, like you said, you handed it to her on a silver platter.
If it's a workplace where there are no dolls, then she shouldn't have to worry about disability, right? I mean,
Right.
if you're working at a toy store, or a doll manufacturing plant, probably need to get a different place to work. But like it's not a fear that should disrupt your normal life. I don't see dolls ever when I go to work because there are none around here. Well, there may be some in your office.
There's a few.
Couple.
Yeah,
there's a few around.
But you get what I'm saying, though. Like it's all
We
about.
would actually need to get rid of like a ton of dolls if someone like that started working.
We would have to get rid of so many more than the average workplace.
We actually have it. Oh, that's right. We have that like weird burnt up doll in the talent office.
Yeah.
That was out on the roof for how many years?
I didn't know that's what it was.
Yeah, it was out on the roof.
I try not to look it in the eye.
Another checkup? Why are so many people getting new puppies?
Dr. Kim's veterinary office is littered with cuteness.
We are booked solid for weeks, but who can say no to a puppy, right? Oh, who's your good boy? Oh, who's your? Oh,
She needs to find extra vet techs to get those pups some extra love.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, candidates can find it easier, so you can hire easier. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed. From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The legends ride again. Willie Nelson and the Outlaw Music Festival is rolling back into St. Louis, June 28th at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater. Don't miss the living legends, Willie Nelson, Bob Dylan, along with Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats, and more, live right here in St. Louis. This is country the way it was meant to be. Tickets are still available, so get them before they're gone. More information can be found at KMOX.com/events.
When you're injured on the job, you need more than just a workers' comp lawyer. When you need a fighter, you need us. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. For the people. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hey, it's Matt, your leaf filter trusted pro. Gutters are an often neglected part of the home. They're also one of the most important. Clogged, overflowing gutters can cause serious problems like foundation damage or basement flooding, which can cost thousands of dollars to fix. Let's face it, cleaning gutters yourself is not only a hassle, it can be dangerous. But when you get Leaf Filter, you'll never have to worry about cleaning clogged gutters again. Get started today by visiting leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free inspection. If you decide to move forward, we'll professionally clean, realign, and seal your gutters before installing our patented stainless steel micro mesh system. Leaf Filter keeps out everything but the water. And it's backed by a lifetime transferable no clogs warranty. So you're protected for good. We're in your neighborhood and ready to help. Visit Leaf Filter today for a free inspection and estimate, and you could save up to 30%. Visit leaffilter.com/deal. That's leafilter.com/deal.
Hey, it's Debbie Monterey in studio with Gloria Liu, broker, owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty and St. Louis's real estate expert. Gloria, while most agents make big promises, you're known for your upfront written guarantees.
My name is My Promise. While many agents promise you an unrealistic sales price just to get your business, I'll provide you with an upfront written guarantee stating if I cannot sell your home for 100% market value, I'll pay you the difference.
Gloria, that's what sets you apart from others and why I recommend you. Folks, why risk working with just any agent when you can work with the best? Gloria Liu guarantees your sale price upfront and in writing.
Absolutely. And if I don't, I will pay you the difference. The agent you choose in this changing market matters and could cost you or make you thousands.
Sell your home with certainty, confidence, and for 100% of market value, or Gloria will pay you the difference. Call 314-325-6888 or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. That's GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
Welcome back, DGS 1041 FM KMOX. Happy Friday. Oh, here's another one. When you say tattletale, how are you spelling tail?
T-A-L-E.
Yeah, my dumbass thought it was T-A-I-L my entire
Little
life.
wagon tail.
I'm 60. I've been to WashU Law School. And I'm like, tattletale.
It's because you're tattling tails.
I know that now.
You're talking to him post-revelation.
That's what I figured out. And here's exactly the look I gave to no one when a few eyes went.
Jim Halpert looking at the camera.
Yes.
He's like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yes.
So here's
You're
my
telling
question
me
for you.
for 40 years.
I only bring this up because you just brought up the fact that you're 60 years old.
Yeah.
How often are you calling people tattletales in 2025?
Someone said it.
Uh-huh.
So someone said it on a television show.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, I know how that goes, tattling that tail. Then I was like, there's another way to say tail too.
Yeah.
And it's a story.
Yeah.
It's one you might tattle. And then I'm just like, son of a bitch.
The spark went off and you're like, oh.
Which means there are so many more of those I haven't figured out yet.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If you're capable of thinking it's tattletale like a mouse's tail, you're capable of lots of other stuff that you just don't know.
Because when you're a kid, you don't think of it. And then you put the image in your head of what the word looks like, and then that's just what it is.
So true.
The whole tattletale concept is interesting to think about because I just Googled tattletale. It's defined as a person, especially a child, who reveals secrets or informs on others.
Informs.
Yeah. And it's like, well, when you're a little kid, you're kind of like encouraged to share information with an adult if something bad is happening. But then at the same time, they're like, well, don't be a tattletale.
Don't tattletale.
It's like, well, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, and you're also then told, and don't hit, don't fight. Well, what is it? What am I supposed to do when somebody's doing something wrong I don't like?
Man, I got tattletaled on in second grade in an indoor recess, and I cried when the teacher came back because it's an indoor recess, and I'm being all rambunctious, and I said fart.
Oh, no.
And Tracy Crest was like, and I'm like, what? She's like, you said fart. And I'm like, I said fort. Swear to God. And the teacher came in and she's like, David Glover said fart. And of course the teacher's like, of course David Glover said fart. You little bitch. Of course he did. And I started crying. I was like, so it's indoor recess and it feels like we're in a fort. And I swear to God, all I said is I'm captain of the fort.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Tracy Crest's like, no. He straight on said fart.
Every class has that kid.
Yeah, both.
Well, yeah. I only know it from the perspective of you because I was always. In our class,
it was a fort, but I should have said it was a prison.
Should have said it was hell.
Wouldn't have sounded like the bad fart word.
Right.
You're like, that's just how my family says it.
You're French.
It's like highway farting.
Yeah.
We're from South St. Louis. Please try to understand.
This is quite a fart you got here.
Fart Leonardwood. I'm sorry, that may have been disrespectful. I didn't mean it that way.
I didn't know what would happen to me. I just knew it was bad.
It's just amazing when you're little like that, the fear you have over nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Complete and utter.
What's the worst thing? You're going to have to go sit in the corner.
Right.
You'll never recover.
Had I known then what I know now, I'd be like, Miss Campbell, welcome back. Your butt smells like a fart.
What if you just then from then on always said the opposite?
Right.
For like fart and fart.
Right. Just interchange them for the rest of my career.
Who farted?
Woof, that fort had some poop in it. That's what Nick told me once when I farted when he was 3.
Yeah.
I farted and he goes, whoa, that one had some poop in it.
I mean, was he wrong?
No, he was never wrong.
Oh my God.
It is also funny. Like, I remember the word stupid being considered a bad word for us when we were like 5 and 6. I'm like, no, I didn't say stupid. And then you get to be about 9 and you're throwing stupid around all over the place. Who cares?
By the way, I couldn't believe that you actually got in trouble for fart in 70s.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't just like, he didn't say that's nothing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a austere time.
But you could have called someone stupid then and not gotten in trouble.
Yeah. This is true. Especially in South Roxana. I think there was a class called Stupid. We're gonna try to get you too stupid.
That's what the teachers call it, right? Look, you didn't have special ed, you had stupid ed in the 70s.
Harold, Terry, John, Dave, you're stupid. You go over there.
Yes.
The rest of you are working to get to stupid.
But none of you say fart.
You just watch them and do what they do.
Yeah.
You'll make it to stupid.
We'll get you to stupid soon enough.
They were brutal in the day, man.
No
you
doubt.
think, was it worse before that?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I said back then it wouldn't even been that. It would have just been very hitty.
Yeah. Tell you guys about BioBalance Health. Dr. Kathy Maupin, bottom line it for you, as I like to do on Fridays. This is an anti-aging thing. This is for people late 30s to no real limit. I'm thinking in your 70s. If you are a certain age, like this friend of mine, who I'm sure would be fine if I told you who he is, but I just haven't asked him, who he and his wife had been married for about 30 years. They're in their 60s. Their marriage had been sexless for about a decade, and it wasn't looking good, and they're just kind of pals. And they found Dr. Maupin, literally found Dr. Maupin. They both went on testosterone pellets, and the sex came back, and now they're perfectly super happy. Now, this isn't every single couple, but it's a pretty good indication of what you can look forward to if you do the pellets. But it helps other things. It helps your mood. It helps your physicality. It helps you working out, recovering in the gym. Next door, BioBalance Skin, going to make your face look younger. 5, 10, maybe even 15 years. Go to biobalancehealth.com for all things Dr. Maupin.
Hi, I'm Andrew Suntrup. For over 30 years, St. Louis families have trusted Suntrup Ford Westport and Suntrup Ford Kirkwood as a proud, family-owned and operated dealership. We offer more than just great deals. We offer peace of mind. At Suntrup Ford, you'll find a huge selection of inventory to choose from, unmatched customer service, and our exclusive lifetime powertrain protection program. Visit in store or online at suntrupford.com. Save more at Suntrup Ford. Visit suntrupford.com.
Cardinal Cowboy here. After proving the doctors wrong following my accident, I got back to baseball, started kicking field goals, and finally got paid as a pro kicker and ultimately became a leader in the marketing world. That's why I trust Renner Garage Door, exceeding expectations for over 65 years. They service, sell, and install top brands like Delden, Amar, and LiftMaster. Get your free quote today. Check them out at RennerDoorSTL.com. Renner, forward and back. Giddy up!
RENNER, RENNER.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM. Visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Mizzou football is here to stay. After an undefeated home season and a second straight 10-win year, the Tigers are looking for more in 2025.
Eli and the boys have done it again.
With a top 10 transfer portal class and a strong home schedule highlighted by Kansas, Alabama, South Carolina, and Texas A&M, you don't want to miss out. Get your spot in line by joining the season ticket waitlist at mutigers.com/FB waitlist. MIZ.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Winner of 4 Edward R. Murrow Awards, including Overall Excellence. KMOX AM St. Louis, KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 2 o'clock, it's a cloudy sky. Right now, 89 degrees downtown at the Arch. No story is hotter than the weather today. Dave Murray's got it for us.
Michael, it's been a long time coming, but the summer heat and humidity is coming back in full force with our first heat wave of the summer season. Temperatures will be pushing into the upper 90s once we get past this afternoon.
How'd you like to live at South County Mall? The chief executive of owner CBL Properties says the now shuttered Macy's anchor would be perfect for a mixed-use conversion. That likely means apartments or condos. The Post-Dispatch talked with CEO Stephen Libowitz at the National Association of Real Estate Editors Conference in New Orleans. He says CBL has added hotels, fitness centers, medical offices, and even casinos to other malls. By the way, he says West County Center is the highest performer in the entire nationwide company. Donations are being collected in Chesterfield to help St. Louis tornado victims.
How can we elevate the region and help people everywhere?
Michael Steinberg of the Steinberg Group is working with the nonprofit Chesterfield Cares to take in donations to give to tornado victims. He doesn't want the region to forget what happened on May 16th.
We're kind of like elephants. We don't remember yesterday or today. How do we keep people knowing that it just doesn't go away in a day? This is a long-term fix.
Suggested donations are water, non-perishables, toiletries, and cleaning supplies. Donations can be taken to the district on the North Outer 40 Road in Chesterfield tomorrow from 10 till 3 p.m. Just follow the tornado relief signs. The conflict between Israel and Iran is intensifying. Sources tell CBS News President Trump believes it's necessary to disable the nuclear site because of concerns that they could ramp up weapons production quickly. CBS News political director Finn Gomez.
He's basically giving diplomacy some time. He's giving diplomacy a chance here, according to the White House, to resolve this escalating conflict between Israel and Iran over the Iranians' nuclear capabilities. Leavitt said during the White House briefing yesterday that the president has made it clear that he wants to pursue diplomacy. She said, but believe me, this is a quote, the president is unafraid to use strength if necessary.
AAA predicts a record number of people to hit the road for the 4th of July period. Spokesperson Aixa Diaz says the firm is forecasting an increase of 1.7 million travelers over last year.
We're expecting overall 72.2 million people traveling between June 28th and July 6th. A majority of those people, about 85% of them, are expected to drive.
About 6 million people are expected to fly, also a new record. 5 children's hospitals in the St. Louis area getting access to a slew of children's books. St. Louis County Libraries expanding the e-pop-up program to make reading more accessible to hospital-bound children. Brenda Wilson with Cardinal Glennon says the books being digital helps make it easier for students with specific conditions to read, like one patient whose condition required him to lie flat at all times.
We did his schoolwork, but when
when he had downtime and we were gone in the evening, he was desperate for something to read. He didn't have anything. He was not a member of his local library.
The collection features books for both entertainment and education to help students who are missing school. The KMOX Business Desk, one Friday Cardinals game is broadcast for free over the air, while another is moving behind the wall of a paid streaming service. Tonight's game versus the Reds is on Matrix Midwest, the local sports channel owned by Channel 4. Matrix Midwest is on Channel 32 over the air, Channel 6 on Spectrum. Meantime, the big 4th of July matchup against the Cubs is moving to Apple TV+. The Friday night baseball matchup actually has the first pitch at 1:20 p.m. The Dow from Stifel down 10 points to 42,161. We've got a crash on 70 West at 141. They've opened up all the lanes there. Some road work on 70 West before 270. That's in the right lane. Also 44 East at Shrewsbury. There's some road work that's got the right lane and shoulder closed there.
The summer steam bath starts to take over this afternoon. Today, though, just kind of the transition day. Sunny, it's warmer, it's more humid. Winds turn to the south. 92 for the high. Tonight, clear, warm, and humid. Only 78 for the overnight low. Saturday, sunny, hot, humid, though a touch of a breeze from the south. Not going to help much. 96 for the high, the heat index. Saturday afternoon, 105. 78 again Saturday night. Sunday, sunny, hot, and humid, 97. Heat index Sunday afternoon, 105 to 107. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
We've got clouds. It's 89 in St. Peters, 90 in Florissant, 89 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Celebrate Independence Day with a free concert by the U.S. Air Force Band of Mid-America. July 2nd, 7 p.m. at Logan University in Chesterfield, showcasing patriotic music and more. Get free tickets at afbandtix.org. That's afbandtix.org.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 104.1 FM KMOX. Happy Friday to you. Going to be, you just heard Dave, like 107 heat index this weekend, so no kidding around. You know, something else I thought of on my day off. So I realized that Humpty Dumpty wasn't an egg. I realized that Tattletale wasn't spelled Tail. And I was thinking about my mental struggles. Try this one on. What if I don't have any mental illnesses? What if the way I have reacted to this life is because this life is screwed up? And not reacting the way I react would be weird. To just be like, yep, cool, would be weird. To be full of anxiety and doubt and questions is the way to react because it's a screwed up life. What do you think?
I think you might be onto something there, honestly. It's hard for me to accept that millions, if not billions of people were all born with some sort of like mental deficiency that makes them some way, or if it's just a nurture issue rather than a nature issue.
Flesh that out.
Like they always say, like nature versus nurture. Is it the way you were born or is it the way you were raised?
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people with anxiety and depression, it's not like, oh, it's 100% their parents' fault. It's not that, but it's the reaction to this world being different than maybe what you were sold as a child.
Yeah, I know. We all have slightly different worlds, right? I mean, I grew up in a different world than Wheels grew up in a different world than Andrew and people in Pakistan, and we're all different. But I can tell you that knowing the world I grew up in, my reaction to it was less than it could have been. I could be a way weirder person,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So it makes perfect sense that I did react the way that I did.
And Beppy Cat brings up an interesting point. She says our nervous systems are reacting exactly how they're supposed to be with what we experience. That's why we spend a lot of time talking about like the amount of time we spend on our phones, the amount of time we spend in front of a screen, how these screens and these platforms that we spend so much time on are changing the way we view society, changing the way we intake information. Just using Twitter as an example. I'm on Twitter all the time. There are times, though, where I have to pause and go, I just took in 200 different people's outlook on life, all on different topics. And I can read pretty fast. So it's doing it quickly, you know, and it's like, is my brain necessarily equipped to handle this many opinions, this much information at once? Maybe not. I'm not saying it's not capable of taking it, but like, I don't think it's wild to be like, yeah, we're a little depressed. We're a little tense. We're a little on edge because of the way the world is now.
Yeah.
Because it happened pretty suddenly.
Yeah.
And our bodies haven't really evolved along with that. We haven't really had the time for that.
And such a simple thing, but in the book Sapiens that I know you read as well, Rach, where they say that we have the brain chemistry to support 100 connections. Could be 100 people in your family, 100 people in your tribe, 100 people on your Facebook page. But when you get above 100 in any sort of meaningful, and meaningful doesn't mean loving, it could be the opposite. But any sort of relationship that you're going to think about when you're not looking at the person, when you get above 100, it screws your brain.
So I can't get the comparison out of my head on this to the whole night watchers thing that we talked about a while back, where some people were just wired to be awake at night like that. And what was it, a scientific study they did recently that found some people are just night people for a reason, because that was a useful skill in the early days of the species, because somebody had to be protecting at night. Somebody had to be doing things at night. I would, that's why I think that's like when we try to define normal, there is no such thing. What you're saying to me makes a lot of sense, because at some point in human history, we would have needed people that are anxious, because they're going to see things maybe before they come up, and they're going to be looking for whatever dangers around the road, because they're going to be they're wired for that. And there are going to be others that are not like that, because you kind of need the push and pull and the balance so that nothing goes too extreme, right? You don't want a bunch of dummies like me that are going to be like not worried about anything, and then all of a sudden here's a big problem and you haven't been ready for it. And you don't want everybody that's going to be on edge all the time, because now everybody's just on edge and things don't get done, or you're going to be over the top and make mistakes. I wonder if maybe the definition that we think of as normal is what we all want to be. Am I saying that in a way that makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
Where you think of normal as, I wish I didn't feel this way, or I wish I did feel the way that I think other people do. And the reality is probably there is no such thing. Like, your normal is normal, because it's what your brain is combined with what your life has been. Like, those two things combined are unique. And it's not going to be the same as someone else.
We could be defining normal as what we wish we were.
Sure. Like, maybe that's like, man, I wish I was as happy as that other person, but you don't know what's in that other person's head.
Yeah.
They may seem happy. They may be, they may be generally, but you don't know what level of stress they deal with. You don't know if they just deal with stress at all.
Mm-hmm. Want to hear a cool science thing?
Yes.
I'm sure you're all as into the Greenberger-Horn Zellinger paradox as I am.
Yeah, I was just reading about that last night. Especially the Zellen.
They were trying that out with a light particle, and what I'm about to tell you is as much as I know, and that somehow they were able to distinguish that light particle reflected in 37 different dimensions.
So there's 37 dimensions?
At least.
How do they know that?
I don't know.
That's fascinating.
They explained it.
Yeah.
But it didn't make sense.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it's all quantum and it's all this and it's all that. But all the other scientists who do understand it were super impressed that oh my God, that light reflected, which is weird, isn't it? Just like the tiniest little particle of light, the tiniest little thing. But if they're right, in a dimension somewhere, a little tiny flash of light happened from our dimension.
And somebody else was like, whoa, what was that?
Right.
They're like an orb. This house is haunted.
This is haunted.
Oh,
Yeah.
Is that what's happening?
Could be.
Maybe.
Could just be things slipping over from another dimension.
Like Bigfoot.
Like Bigfoot. Yeah.
That's why he always disappears.
This not my dimension.
He's like, oh no, this be 6, not 4. Oh wait, this is
Gets
4.
back
not
into
6.
his dimension. He's like, oh man, I think Dave saw him.
Man, they got these guys over there. They don't have any hair, and they're really small. They're like tiny.
I saw a hairless monkey pointed phone at me. Yeah, he's telling this story about being at the top of Vale too. Look, I don't know what it was. I'm not saying it was a human.
It looks just like what humans were always.
What if we
talking
just
about.
phased in and out of Bigfoot land?
Right.
They would all be like, oh, I saw one.
It was so pink and soft.
Why is it so white?
Razor's Edge?
Yeah, do you guys want to do some fast food news
Yeah,
for
sure.
Razor's Edge,
Love it.
perhaps? Okay. I'm excited about this. I'm a little ashamed of myself, but I will be eating this. It's called the Wendy's Takis Fuego meal with new Fuego chicken sandwich and Fuego fries. Have you guys ever had Takis before?
Yeah, I think
Little
I
hot.
had a couple.
A little
Oh
hot.
yeah.
They're like a corn chip. You can get the Fuego, which is extremely
It's
hot.
like a hot Dorito.
Yes. I think they are delicious. It's hard for me to not eat the entire bag whenever I do pick up a bag. But they're going to make the Takis Fuego chicken sandwich featuring a seasoned spicy chicken fillet
I like
topped with
seasy.
It's seasy. Crushed with topped with crushed Takis Fuego chips. It also comes with a cheddar cheese sauce, a creamy corn spread, Andrew, and a chili lime sauce, all served on a lightly toasted plain bun. It sounds really disgusting, and I will be trying.
Where is it again?
Yes. Wendy's.
Okay.
That doesn't seem like a Wendy's item.
Seems complex for Wendy's.
Yeah, you guys are bringing up some excellent points. You're right.
They've
It
done a lot
doesn't-
of spicy sandwiches. Like that's been a thing. Like they did a spicy chicken and spicy chicken nugs, but it's not really the main brand.
I mean, when they did a Krabby Patty collaboration, they were basically
Stupid.
like,
It was a burger.
we're putting instead of putting the lettuce and then the tomato, we're doing tomato then lettuce because that's how the Krabby Patty does it. It's like,
one of those.
yeah. And hey, you guys remember, I was still like, need that now.
The Takis Fuego meal starts today. If anyone's looking for a trash dinner, I would recommend trying out Wendy's. Now, Little Caesars, one of our favorites, has introduced a new Fantastic 4-in-1 pizza inspired by the Fantastic Four First Steps movie. The Fantastic 4-in-1 pizza features 8 slices made with the brand's signature crust, with 2 slices each topped with classic cheese, pepperoni, Italian sausage, and bacon. Pepperoni and jalapeno coming to you for a suggested price of $7.99.
So 4 different toppings?
It's almost like 4 different pizzas.
Right.
It's like one round pizza,
Right. That's
and then
a pretty good
there's
idea.
4 like quadrants.
I like that.
Each of the 4 quadrants is like a different pizza.
Have you guys seen the big arch?
Is that from McDonald's?
The one downtown over here.
Oh, you're kidding me. It's a new gigantic burger from McDonald's.
What?
Yeah.
Is
Someone
it different
Google
from the Arch Deluxe?
Yes, it's like twice the size. And I don't know what its purpose is, but I've been seeing it advertised.
All right, I'm looking at it on the McDonald's website now. 2 100% beef patties, white cheddar cheese slices.
Oh.
Okay. Crispy and slivered onions, lettuce, pickles, and the big arch sauce, delivering that distinctive McDonald's taste.
What's the big arch sauce?
It looks like Big Mac sauce to me.
Okay, so then don't do that. Just say Big Mac sauce.
And it looks like a bigger Big Mac.
Like a thicker burger?
Yeah.
What's it cost? Like $92?
I'm gonna say, what is Big Arch?
Is that available like everywhere?
Don't know.
Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't have that in my fast food news. I didn't see any
It's a-
stories about this.
It's
That's
a
why we got more
tangy-
people on the show.
Tangy mustardy sauce with a base of tomato concentrate. It is not the sweet
Okay,
relish.
so it's a different one.
Big
Okay.
Mac sauce. It is
All right.
different.
Good.
It is tangier and spicier than Big Mac sauce.
Oh,
Fair enough. I want to come back and do Craigslist prices, right?
Yeah.
All right, quick break, right back.
You know how you always want to know about everyone else's money? On the podcast, What We Spend, guests will, for 1 week, tell us everything they spend their money on
My son slammed $6 worth of blueberries in 5 minutes.
and everything that makes them feel.
I want to own a house. I want to have a child. But this morning, I really wanted a coffee.
Because at the end of the day, money is always about more than your balance. Listen to and follow What We Spend, an Odyssey original podcast, available now wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, it's Matt, your leaf filter trusted pro. Gutters are an often neglected part of the home. They're also one of the most important. Clogged, overflowing gutters can cause serious problems like foundation damage or basement flooding, which can cost thousands of dollars to fix. Let's face it, cleaning gutters yourself is not only a hassle, it can be dangerous. But when you get Leaf Filter, you'll never have to worry about cleaning clogged gutters again. Get started today by visiting leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free inspection. If you decide to move forward, we'll professionally clean, realign, and seal your gutters before installing our patented stainless steel micro mesh system. Leaf Filter keeps out everything but the water. And it's backed by a lifetime transferable no clogs warranty. So you're protected for good. We're in your neighborhood and ready to help. Visit Leaf Filter today for a free inspection and estimate, and you could save up to 30%. Visit leaffilter.com/deal. That's leaffilter.com/deal.
Susan L. Ward, very good friend of mine. Susan is the person you talk to about divorce. Duh. But here's what I mean by that. If you are already in the process and you already have an attorney, yes, you can change horses and you can fire that attorney and you can hire Susan L. Ward, but it's not the kind of business that divorce attorneys go for, trying to convince you to do that. But if you are in the process of thinking about it, or you've had a couple of bad fights, or you've just had some really bad news, or maybe the two of you are in lockstep and you've discussed it all and you're sad about it, but you think that this is the right way to go and you want to keep it non-contested, you want to keep it on the less expensive side, and you know that going to court and fighting for a year or two is just going to do nothing but zero out all of your bank accounts and your 401ks, then your kids end up with nothing and you both start out with nothing. Just not the way to go. Susan will not only give you answers, she'll give you very honest answers and very accurate answers. No one I know, and I know quite a few divorce attorneys, have her width and breadth and depth of knowledge about local divorce law and what judges are likely to do. STLFamilyLaw.com, 314-783-9400 for Susan L. Ward.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify.
This is Megan Lynch. 250 doctors go to Ophthalmology Associates. That's why I trust them. Ophthalmology Associates, 314-966-5000 or youridoc.com.
Renewal by Andersen is the #1 window and door brand for customer service. Schedule your free inspection today. Just dial #250 on your phone and say the keyword Windows. That's #250 keyword Windows, or head to rbastl.com.
1120 AM, 1041 FM, and streaming on the Odyssey app. KMOX is with you, however you listen, wherever you listen.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. Let's do some Craigslist Price is Right, a little game I made up where we go to Craigslist, we find some interesting, fun items, then the guys will bid on them, we'll keep score. Here we go. Now, one of you has an advantage on this item. Indoor hammock / swing.
Oh, yeah. ...
sexy.
Oh, okay. So
Whoa,
it's
is
those
that what the
swings.
hammock's been this whole time and we just didn't know?
Could be.
I'll never tell.
I just had a moment like you had with Tattletale.
Right?
Oh, wait a minute.
Okay, Andrew.
I'm so sick of that thing being in my freaking living room. I gotta get it out of there.
You were so happy about it when it first started. It was whimsical.
I just like seeing her happy. You can't sell that on Craigslist, right?
It's
You'd
just
be
a hammock.
surprised.
Like a used
Hammock.
It looked like a hammock.
Okay. Well, I guess you could make anything work if you tried hard enough. $60.
Okay.
I'll say $80.
Okay.
30.
Wheels gets it. It's 10.
Oh boy.
Oh, they want it gone.
They want that out of there.
I was gonna be a smart ass and say $1. I would have been closer.
This might be from the same couple. Mop bucket. You know those big yellow ones, like
All
the
right, with
professional
wheels.
janitors?
Yeah, like a real one.
It's just that without the mop.
Without the mop.
Okay, I recently found out that to buy one of those from a supplier is $100.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say 50.
Okay.
25.
40.
Wheels gets it again. It's 29.
Okay. All right. Good deal.
$29.
Got a little wear and tear, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Quail chicks.
Oh.
Comma. Great for eating.
Oh.
Oh.
How
well,
much are they a piece?
That's
assuming you gotta
$7.
grow
well,
them,
let's
right?
see. One nugget each. So you got to think.
Yeah, it's so true. It's like not only is a quail like no meat, but you have
Yeah.
to raise them,
Yeah, I'm gonna
pluck them, cook them.
$5 each.
Oh, got it.
Hey.
Each?
Each. $5 each.
All right. So
Costco has a bigger bird.
for
Perfectly
$5,
For $5.
I don't have to feed it, raise it,
Yeah.
pluck it,
Name
kill it, cook it.
Name it.
Name
This one was interesting. A roll of Sacagawea dollars with a face value of $25.
So they're coins.
The coins are worth $25. What is this person wanting for
So
them?
they're 25 $1 coins.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to
Okay.
say 100.
Man, I fell hard for the Sacagawea dollars. I'm gonna say 75.
50.
Wheels again, 39.
Oh wow.
Going big. A 2005 Monaco 36-foot diesel recreational vehicle with 50,000 miles on it.
Okay.
So it's a big tour bus looking guy.
What year was it?
2005.
Okay, so it's old.
I have no idea, so I'm going to say $200,000.
I'm gonna
Wow,
say
he really laughed at
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Sorry,
say
that just seems like a lot. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong too.
I mean, like new, it might not be crazy.
you. No, new, that's not crazy.
No.
well, how big is it?
36.
36 feet?
Yes, sir.
a big
Okay,
one.
I apologize for laughing. I thought it was like a van.
Like a pop-up.
Yeah, I thought it was like a van type thing.
Let's say 50.
Well,
1,000. Not $50.
in that case, I'm gonna say 100,000.
Wheels again, 21.9.
Oh my lord.
That was close.
You're close.
I guess that's a 20-year-old. Must be having some wear and tear.
Poise pee panties.
Mm-hmm.
Ultra thin.
Mm-hmm.
5 boxes, 2 are open.
Mm-hmm.
How many are missing?
No, they don't say that.
How many per box?
They don't say that either.
I'm going to say, you said 5 boxes?
5 boxes.
I will say $55.
Okay.
30.
Scared to know why they don't need them anymore. I'm going to say $10. They just want to get rid of them.
30.
$5.
Wow.
Hey.
Andrew gets this one.
Yeah, Andrew's right. They just want it out of the house.
Yeah, they just want that gone.
If you're
I'm
gonna-
really
like,
bad at this game.
All right, send it.
Just today.
It's because you're the host.
I go-
You've never,
But
you've
that
only
should
played
give
it a
me
couple
an
times.
edge. I should
Yeah.
have more of a feel
I
for
got a question
the
about that.
bids.
Would you go through the trouble of trying to sell all that for $5 instead of just
God,
throwing it
no.
away?
Oh
No.
my
Or
God. no.
donating it.
And it, and
Yeah,
it, sometimes
donate
it
it.
makes
Yeah,
me
yeah.
feel. Sometimes it makes me feel financially stupid. Like it makes me feel like I'm messing up because I don't do things like that. But it's not. It's worth $10 to me to just throw that in the garbage.
Or donate it. Yeah, like just throw it in like
Or
go to-
yeah, or just donate it to Goodwill.
call somebody. Well, I don't know if they take them, but somebody will.
One more. And this one is worth 5 points. Anyone can win. Emmett Kelly, the sad clown. Remember him? This is a really nice. Nope, let's not do that one. Let's do an easier one. A 10-year-old 21 speed Schwinn. Sounds like something I would have made up as a kid.
All right.
20-inch frame for a grown man.
I'll say $89.
Okay.
40.
I will also go 100,000 on this one.
Rach wins the whole thing.
Yay.
$110.
Hey.
All right.
Look at that.
Thanks.
Is your home, business, or church looking tired, chalky, or in need of curb appeal? Go Rhino. Tired of painting year after year? Go Rhino. Our unique 3M ceramic technology is perfect for brick, stucco, aluminum, steel, color lock masonite, and more. It's backed by our 25-year transferable warranty to not chip, crack, or peel. Great if you're staying, and even better if you're selling. Our ceramic coating allows you to maintain all of your architectural features. The decision to do vinyl will leave your home looking like a plastic moldy box. With Rhino Shield, in 15 years, your home will still have that, wow, it looks like you just got it painted. We've done large condo complexes, parking garages, pole barns, and commercial strip malls. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. Evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Another checkup? Why are so many people getting new puppies?
Dr. Kim's veterinary office is littered with cuteness.
We are booked solid for weeks, but who can say no to a puppy, right? Oh, who's your good boy? Oh, who's what? Oh,
She needs to find extra vet techs to get those pups some extra love.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, candidates can find it easier, so you can hire easier. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed. From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
We take you now to Dave Murray's forecast.
The summer steam bath starts to take over this afternoon. Today, though, just kind of the transition day. Sunny, it's warmer, it's more humid. Winds turn to the south. 92 for the high. Tonight, clear, warm, and humid. Only 78 for the overnight low. Saturday, sunny, hot, humid, though a touch of a breeze from the south. Not going to help much. 96 for the high. The heat index Saturday afternoon, 105. 78 again Saturday night. Sunday, sunny, hot, and humid, 97. Heat index Sunday afternoon, 105 to 107. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Brought to you by Visit Missouri.
When you golf in Missouri, the courses are so close, you'll spend more time on the fairway than the freeway. After the back nine, enjoy our world-class dining and distilleries, shops and spas, museums, and more. Find your new golf MO at visitmo.com.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan from McKelvey Homes. Since 1898, we've been building homes of legendary quality with personal service for families in St. Louis for over 127 years. And to mark this special occasion, we are celebrating with our anniversary gift of $18,980 in options on all homes in all communities across St. Louis and St. Charles counties. When you're ready to move up to McKelvey, visit McKelveyhomes.com.
I'm Altima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. You know, when you go to the Audiology Center, you'll see a doctor of audiology. And with us right now, Dr. Colleen Bosler. Dr. Bosler, what are some of the signs of hearing loss?
Well, it's a number of things. Sometimes loved ones notice a person asking others to repeat themselves, or the television is too loud. What people tend to notice first with hearing loss is the loss of clarity. They can hear people talking, but they cannot always understand what's being said. That's because the hearing loss can cause you to miss certain consonant sounds, and those consonant sounds give us the detail to the word. A hearing aid can help bring back those details and give you a sense of clarity that you're missing.
Dr. Colleen Bosler at the Audiology Center with 3 locations in the greater St. Louis area. Call for an appointment, 636-441-7470. Online, theaudiologycenterstl.com.
Cards manager Ollie Marble joins the Gas House Gang every Tuesday at noon. Sponsored by Siteman Cancer Center on the voice of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Our segment with Bernie is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling at Dicon Comfort Dealer.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 141 FM KMOX. Happy Friday to you. We say hello to Bernie Miklas. Hello, Bern.
Hello. I hope everyone's having a great Friday so far.
Yeah, everything's good. Bern, I was watching you today on TikTok, and you were making great points as always. And I know that you are in contact with Oliver Marmol, and I know you know everybody. And my question for you and Wheels is, I listen to you guys with great interest, and you drill down on all these topics, and sometimes you get exasperated and frustrated. To what extent do you think the Cardinals organization, that could be the manager, it could be front office, to what extent do they understand what you understand, and why don't they agree with you when they don't, if that question makes sense?
Well, I think, like, in John Moselek's case, he, I don't mean this to be disrespect. He's pretty set in his ways, and he's long beyond the point of really caring what anybody thinks about. I mean, that sounds bad, but it's true. I mean, he's not rude, but he's just, okay, I'm heading out and whatever, in terms of public and media feedback. Now, Oli Marmol's very interesting because I think he's a good manager. And the thing that's interesting about him is that he wants to hear all of it. He wants criticisms directed at him, brought to him. He wants to be things like him straightforward, like, I don't understand why you're doing this. I don't get why you're doing that. He likes that stuff. So he is really enthusiastic about explaining why he does the things that he's been doing, or why he doesn't do certain things. I really like that about him. And if I could just continue the point with, talking about the front office and talking about Oli, I just filed a column that'll be up in a little while over at STL Sports Central. And, my observation, the problem with maybe the front office has been, for a long time, it's like, well, listen, we've won a lot. We winning back in 2014 with this philosophy. We're fine. We know what we're doing. We don't have to change anything. So they sort of have given up on thinking too deeply about, well, do we need to change? And now they did that up until the point that they brought Chaim Bloom in. So they let it get stale. Oli, on the other hand, is a good manager, but Kevin Wheeler and I, text about this a lot. Oli's issue is that where the front office doesn't think about things enough, Oli overthinks at times. And in our opinion, when he overthinks things too much, he sort of gets into trouble in terms of strategy.
Yeah, I think there are a couple of dynamics on it. I mean, I think in addition to what Bernie said, because I agree with everything there, part of it is we on the outside aren't invested in the original decisions that got you to where you are, right? We didn't make those moves, so it's a lot easier for us to say pivot, because we didn't make that call to begin with, and they do put in due diligence, they do work hard, but they have different priorities. Like in my opinion, the team as a whole overemphasizes defense. Defense matters, and it matters a lot. I'm not sure it matters as much as they think it does. But as Bernie pointed out, they won a lot of games looking at it that way over a long period of time. So you've got some confirmation that has worked in the past. And for any of us, think about any of us, if you're really good at something and you've done something well, how apt are you to want to change? And that's partly why it was important that they decided to make the move to someone like Chaim Bloom, who's not coming from the same universe, the same group of people. So I think they do have come around to recognizing that. Most comments throughout the offseason kind of reflected that.
Yeah.
And I think we don't have the personal relationships either, right? Oli knows all of his players. He knows them on a personal level. Somewhat friend, somewhat supervisor, obviously a little different for everybody. So when we say just sit some guy once or twice more a week, well, for us, it's easy. For him, it's more than just the strategic decision. But as Bernie points out, sometimes you have to not think about those other things and just do the sensible thing, the rational thing. So I think that's where there are gaps. And I don't know, I would say my ideas are wrong too sometimes. Like I was wrong about Michaelis earlier this year. I wanted him out of the rotation. Well, he had a good run after that. The team was right about not doing that at that time. So those things, when I'm wrong, they're not played out on TV. They're not played out in front of anybody most of the time. So I get it completely. But I think that those of us on the outside are a little freer to say things and have ideas because we're not locked into it. But that doesn't mean we're wrong.
Yeah.
I think what the things we talk about make sense because when Bernie's talking about them and writing about them, and when I am, we're also watching what's happening in 29 other cities and how teams are run. How is Tampa run? How is Detroit run? How is New York run? How do they make these same kinds of decisions?
Mm-hmm.
How do they maximize their roster versus not? Mm-hmm. So, and maybe that makes it easier too, Bern, where we see all of that and they're doing their own thing and not really paying that much attention to what another team is doing.
I think you can learn by watching all the other teams too, both the good and the bad. Listen, I think Ali Marmol is more of an advanced thinker than John Mozeliak has been. And I think sometimes, yet he's interesting because he'll backtrack. And when we expect that, there are certain moves supposed to be made or would make sense, he sort of goes into this old school thing where he tries to bunt and he doesn't really have to. They already have a runner in scoring position,
Right.
that kind of thing. It sounds strange, but I think Ollie's a smart guy, but I think maybe sometimes he's a little, when I say overly sensitive to the crowd, I don't mean that he bristles at it or he's angry about it. I think he's really in touch with what's being said out there. And I'm talking about fans. He loves fan involvement on the Gas House Gang when he comes on. I think he likes to kind of show that he's capable of not being boxed in one way of thinking. And I think he really likes a lot of feedback and he respects it, even if he disagrees with it. So I find him to be, I actually find him to be a really interesting manager that way. And he's kind of a new style manager that way.
Mm-hmm.
There's not this arrogance, like I know what I'm doing. Okay. Thanks for the question. But if I need your advice, I'll ask you. There's none of that. He likes to have this baseball discussions. The beat writers rave about how these in-depth discussions they have with him on a daily basis and how he welcomes them to explain why they think he's wrong about something. And like Katie Wu tells me, that's when they have great discussions with him. So he's a little bit of a different cat, and I really appreciate it.
And Bern, you had that relationship with La Russa. Am I
yeah,
correct?
big time.
Yeah.
Big time. I know it sounds weird, but I see some La Russa with him in that extent. La Russa knew everything that was being said and written, not because he was paranoid, but he just likes to know what the feelings are out there. And if he thinks some of the stuff is off base, he wants to address it. If he thinks people have a good point, he'll give you a tip of the cap. But he never wanted to be out of touch with what the public was thinking and what the media was thinking, because the media is kind of, I respect it a lot. And he welcomed the dissenting opinion too. We would get in arguments, but it only lasted as long as the argument lasted. It was over after that. I really appreciated about them.
And the three of us, we're in similar positions. Like Steve Moore, who I love like a brother, is always trying to coach me. Well, he's the first person in 25 years that has ever even tried to coach me. And so I don't always react to it great. But I do always remember, Bern, what you just said, or Wheels, maybe you just said it. But it's basically that just because you've been successful at something for a long time doesn't mean you're perfect. It just means maybe you've learned to run around your backhand.
Yeah, and sometimes it means that there are things changing and you got to go along and adapt, like a baseball team, like a football team or whatever.
So I've been saying I bought tickets to all the Cubs games, so I'm invested. And I've been saying sweep the Sox, beat the Reds, split with the Cubs. Not that they're going to do what I think they should do, but so far so good.
That sounds like a reasonable request. It does. Listen, I don't think they're looking ahead to the Cubs. The Cardinals were in a bad way there for a while. Now they've won 4 out of their last 5 games.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good, but it's only 5 games. And their little bounce back here, winning 4 out of the last 5, including the sweep in Chicago. And they could have lost both of those games yesterday, so I admire their persistence. But if they lose a series to the Reds And if they lose a series to the Reds where they let 1 or 2 games get away that they should have put in the victory column, it kind of wipes out the progress they've made in recent days. So listen, by the way, and I don't think, like I said, I don't think the Cardinals are thinking about the Cubs. We all are, because that's fun. It's part of being a fan. But you can't afford to wipe out the gains you've just made on the road back to having a better record by stumbling against the Reds, because then when the Cubs come in here, you don't have as much room to fail. A 2-2 split. If you take care of business against Cincinnati, a 2-2 split against the Cubs, by any measure, by any rational person, is reasonable.
Yeah, and you don't have another off day for 13 more days, so it's going to be tough. They're going to need starting pitchers to give them innings. I know they're probably going to use McGreevy at some point when he's back, and maybe 5-6 days from now when he's had his chance to recover, because they're going to need to kind of bolster what they're doing there. Because even yesterday, right, you're facing the White Sox. It's not ideal when it's so close in a doubleheader where you got to use every pitcher in your bullpen to get to that against a team that was struggling, and a team, by the way, that you were up 6-1 on. You hate that you have to use that many guys in the pen. Now, they did a good job. Most of them did. Few didn't. A couple of them yesterday in the second game didn't do a good job. But it was emphasized, or it was made more important or made necessary because the starters only went 5 innings against one of the worst teams in baseball.
Yeah, and I thought McGreevy had an extra inning in him there. I was a little perplexed by that move.
Yeah. Now, Clabe said today that, and this is on the Gas House Gang, he mentioned today that his understanding was McGreevy told them he was gassed.
Okay, good.
Which, again,
it's good to know.
And if that's the case, that changes everything. Because I had the same question too. I was like, I know that he's not been on a 5-day rotation in Memphis, because it's more of a 6-day, because they have an automatic off day every week, so they don't always get to go on 5 days rest. But McGreevy's not a guy I'm worried about. He's thrown 150 innings each of the last 2 years. He's a grown-ass man. He's not a 21-year-old. I think he's more than equipped to come on 4 days rest and be a normal starter. And when your team needs as much as you could get, if you could get one more inning, even though it doesn't seem like much, it does add up when you're looking at a stretch like this where you're playing so many games, because this is going to be 15 games in 14 days once this stretch is over.
Well, on the positive side, like Kyle Leahy's having problems. We know that. And, here's where Ollie's a little stubborn, because Kyle Leahy was so great for the first 5 weeks or so, but his strikeout rate has just crashed. And he's a lot more hittable now. It has nothing to do with his talent, or has nothing to do with his fortitude. It's just, inexperienced pitchers, major league hitters catch on to what you're doing. And, if you're a little off, they're going to make you pay for it. But Ollie still, sort of treats Leahy like he's that quality high-level reliever that we saw earlier in the season. So that thing yesterday, he had no choice but to stick with him. But it was one of those less than ideal circumstances, to your point. On the other hand, I like what we see from Riley O'Brien, and it took the Cardinals way too long to give an opportunity to Andre Granillo, but they did, and he has been a boost to that bullpen. So they are discovering new resources of relief, and that should help them.
All right, buddy, can you tell us about Saliga before we let you go for the weekend?
I'd be happy, and thanks for having me on. I look forward to these two hits with you on the Dave Glover Show every week. Hey, Saliga Heating and Cooling is a Daikin comfort dealer, and listen, Saliga Heating and Cooling goes back so deep, into history. 1927, it's the same family still owns it. Dan Saliga is a 4th generation owner operator, taking care of St. Louis family since 1927. The same family doing it. I love that. And the other thing is, we know all about it because we've been a Saliga family for 16, 17 years, and we're just thrilled by our relationship with them, just like any client. It isn't, I know Dan, it isn't because I talk about them on the radio. It's just the work that they do. And it's just been a great experience, because you're always a little shaky. You're not sure who you can trust. Well, who's good? Who's considered the best? I don't know about what I've heard that. I've heard this, I got 16 of experience, maybe 17 by now, of knowing what to expect from Saliga. And that is honesty, integrity, professionalism, knowledge, prompt service. They look to save you money. They don't try to pressure you into anything. Saliga Heating and Cooling, they don't do that at all. I've mentioned this all the time because it's important. In our experience with Saliga Heating and Cooling, they will look for ways to offer a cheaper solution. They probably could recommend a more expensive thing, and we'll say, yeah. But they're like, no. We don't need to do that. There's a cheaper, less expensive way to do the same thing. Man, that kind of quality is hard to find. If you want to you should become a member of the Priority Club. It's a maintenance program that's going to save you money because it extends the life of your equipment. And we're in that program, and the Elite Priority Club works great. And also gives you the peace of mind you're ready for all 4 seasons. So if you want to find out more, you can call Saliga Heating and Cooling at 314-481-7333 or go to saligaheatingandcooling.com. Thank you.
On the Chris and Amy Show, we're launching 100 Acts of Kindness because apparently honking less in traffic doesn't count as charity.
We're teaming up with Jerry Kelly Heating and Cooling to prove kindness doesn't have to cost a dime.
Hold the door, say thank you, help your neighbor take out their trash without throwing yours in first.
No grand gesture required, just small, simple acts of human decency. We believe in you.
Join us and share your stories with hashtag 100KindActs.
Kindness, it's like a group hug without the awkwardness.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com.
Tell you guys about Neovitin. I talk about him pretty much every day. And if you've heard me talk about Neovitin every day and you've never bought Neovitin, there's a couple of reasons why it could be. One, you may be an anti-multivitamin person. You may think, they don't do any good or they could, harm you or something. All of the really good studies that I've seen, because I do pay attention to it, with Neovitin being a client of mine for going on 20 years, it's still that, well, of course, it helps you because we are just skin machines that we were just talking about with the aliens. And we, instead of running on transmission fluid and oil and gasoline and nuts and bolts, we run on vitamin K and riboflavin and antioxidants. So we're not getting what we need out of our modern day diets. We're not getting what we need out of drive-thrus and DoorDash. So you take 2 pills a day, costs less than $1 a day. A portion of the proceeds from every bottle goes to cancer research. So it's a win-win all around. If you're interested now, next time you're at Schnucks or Deerberg's, just, make a note of it. You're going to find it right with all the other vitamins, right by all the deodorants in the pharmacy. If not, go to neovitin.com.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Welcome back, DGS 252. So, Wheels, I have a pitcher. And I say, if the batter can get a hit, you win $1 million. And you can choose anyone. Do you want to take that hit from any era?
A hitter.
A hitter. Who you picking?
Just a hit, nothing else.
One hit, that's it.
Probably Ichiro.
Interesting choice.
Combination of things. Great contact. If he wants to put a ball in play, he will. And he's super fast. So he's got a little edge, like if he hits a little slow ground ball or whatever. There's a lot of good choices, but if it's just if it's a single and that's all that matters, probably Ichiro.
The Pope said something I thought was very smart and very interesting. And I don't mean to crap on popes, but they typically don't.
Okay.
They just don't. They're just like, pie in the sky, nothing that no one can do anything about, pie in the sky. But Pope Leo said that he's not sure that quick access to information, like you can know any fact in 0.03 seconds, and artificial intelligence is the same as human intelligence. That just the fact that 40, 50 years ago, we had to go to a library in the Dewey Decimal System and to learn facts, that now that we can go like, oh yeah, the highest batting average in 1929 was so-and-so, that should not be staken for true human intelligence. I thought that was pretty smart.
Yeah. I don't think that going to the library and looking anything up, though, has any more value than looking it up on your phone. But I agree with the point, though.
I think what his point was, don't get too big for your britches.
Yeah.
Just because you know a bunch of stuff doesn't mean you're smart.
Right. Just because you looked it up doesn't mean you know it.
Yeah.
No, and plus intelligence is a lot of things, right? It's not just knowing facts and remembering things. It's a deeper understanding of whatever a thing is.
Being able to problem solve.
Yes.
Being mature.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. I thought that was good.
Yeah. Agreed.
He's batting 1,000 with me. What is a labubu?
A what?
You want to take this, Andrew?
Sure. It's like a little thing. Back to you, Rach. No, it's like a little. They're like charms, as I understand it. Like you can hang them off your purse or backpack or your.
Why is it called that?
And they're all the rage.
They're all the rage. I had never heard of them until about 2 weeks ago when I saw on a TikTok about people like lining up around a store 3 times over.
Oh,
for
it's actually a
Labubus.
thing. Like it's like from so it's from a thing called The Monsters, made in Hong Kong. It's a series.
So as I understand it, they're little designer toys that were not popular at all until some Asian influencer, maybe Korean, was like, I love my Labubu that I put on my purse here. And then that became that it kind of took off from there. Then everybody wanted a Labubu because the influencer had one.
And as I understand it, you get them largely out of kiosks called Pop Marts. And the first person to the Pop Mart every day buys every Labubu.
I'm
sure.
How do I know
yeah,
more about this?
I was going to say, you know more than what the hell's a Pop Mart?
It is a collectible plush toy monster elf.
It's just more plastic crap that's ruining our brain.
It's
Like,
the new- it's the
honestly,
new
at the end of
Beanie
the
Baby,
day,
right?
that's all it is.
Your home sold guaranteed, or I'll buy it. Hi, I'm Gloria Liu, broker owner at Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. And for over 20 years, I've been getting my home sellers the most money for their home and selling faster than the average agent. So when you're ready to sell your home or have questions, call me.
And I'm Debbie Monterey. For years, I've been telling you about Gloria Liu and why you should call her. Gloria has solutions and programs for every seller because she understands that every situation is different. Call Gloria and get your free instant home valuation, choose from multiple cash offers, or sell with certainty this summer because Gloria will guarantee upfront and in writing to sell your home at 100% of market value, or she will pay the difference. Hey, the St. Louis market is shifting. Now is a great time to call and get to know Gloria Liu like I have. Call 314-325-6888 or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. That's GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date. Many Americans take a fish oil supplement, often with the goal in mind of heart health, blood pressure, cholesterol, joint comfort. If that's you, you need to hear what the Cleveland Clinic concluded. At best, fish oil pills aren't likely to do much good for your health, and at worst, they could actually increase your risk of stroke. While omega-3 fatty acids are well studied and beneficial, many fish oil supplements contain a low dose of only 2 omega-3 fatty acids. 2. Krill oil from Native Path, on the other hand, contains a powerful extra antioxidant not found in fish oil. That powerful extra antioxidant makes krill oil from Native Path richer in omega-3 antioxidants. Plus, krill oil is better absorbed with higher bioavailability than fish oil, which means your body's getting more of the health benefits of the omega-3s. So do what I did and follow the research. Switch from fish oil to Antarctic krill oil from Native Path. You can get 66% off plus free shipping if you go to krillreport.com and click on my name, Debbie Monterey. Krillreport.com for Native Path krill oil.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Summer's coolest mattress deals are going on now at Ashley's Stars and Stripes sale. This summer, save up to $1,000 on select mattresses and say goodbye to hot sleep and save up to $500 on the best-selling Tempur-Breeze collection. Plus, feel the freedom to snooze now and pay later with 0% interest until 2030 on in-store purchases made with your Ashley Advantage Synchrony credit card. Better sleep starts at Ashley. Subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store for details.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights. With thousands of 5-star reviews, you can trust us to bring happiness home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Mizzou football is here to stay. After an undefeated home season and a second straight 10-win year, the Tigers are looking for more in 2025.
Eli and the boys have done it again.
With a top 10 transfer portal class and a strong home schedule highlighted by Kansas, Alabama, South Carolina, and Texas A&M, you don't want to miss out. Get your spot in line by joining the season ticket waitlist at mutigers.com/FB waitlist. MIZ.
The trusted voice of St. Louis. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 3 o'clock, the news is sponsored by the St. Louis Aquarium at Union Station. We've got a cloudy sky. It's 90 degrees downtown at the Arch. It's the start of St. Louis summer sweating. More from Dave Murray.
Today's the transition day. You can feel it getting warmer. You can feel it getting more humid, but there is a beast of a summer dome of high pressure that's going to be taking over. It's not going to let go for several days and nights.
More than 100 people are still in Red Cross shelters after the May 16th tornado.
Our shelters are currently located at Crossroads College Prep School, also at the Peter and Paul Community Services Garfield Building and Urban League Peter Bunce campus.
Red Cross Regional Director Sharon Watson says the shelters now double as cooling stations amid the extreme heat.
So those are available for anyone in the tornado impacted area who is concerned about the heat this weekend and needs to get out of the heat during the day.
Just in, a judge halts the Trump administration effort to block Harvard University from hosting international students. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says there's no time frame for ending Israel's military operations in Iran.
As long as it takes, because we face an existential danger, a dual existential danger. One from 20,000 such rockets, 20,000, not one. This is one rocket, one missile. And the other is, of course, atomic bombs in the hands of this mad regime.
UK Foreign Secretary David Lammy tells reporters there's a window to achieve a diplomatic solution.
We urge Iran to continue their talks with the United States. This is a perilous moment. And it is hugely important that we don't see regional escalation of this conflict.
A judge says he'll order Columbia University protester Mahmoud Khalil released from immigration detention. Although the attendees of the Women in Government National Legislative Conference in the Central West End are from both sides of the aisle, Wendy Doyle of United We says her keynote focused on 3 things where they have common ground.
Caregiving, both paid family leave as well as childcare, as we know that continues to be a workforce development issue across the country. Women having a professional license to do their work, so occupational licensing. And then the third was an opportunity for women to seek out a board or a commission opportunity, city, county, or state level. and the importance of that to build the pipeline of our future elected leaders.
Doyle says they had a moment of silence for the shooting of 2 lawmakers and their spouses in Minnesota. She says they don't want that to deter good people from getting into politics. The KMOX Business Desk, a St. Louis-based private equity firm, buys another fast casual restaurant chain. Thompson Street Capital Partners says it's acquired Buckaboo's Burritos, founded on the Jersey Shore in 2008. Now with 130 locations in 15 states, it's a franchise model. There's one in our metro area in Glen Carbon with another planned for O'Fallon, Illinois. Bubba Coos describes itself as a hybrid skater surf atmosphere. Thompson Street Capital is the largest investment group in St. Louis. It also owns Kansas-based Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers. Let's get an update of the St. Louis Business Index with Stifel's Scott Bedell. Scott?
Thank you, Michael. Good afternoon, everyone. Strong mid-morning gains in the financial markets melted away as the trading day progressed, with only the Dow Industrials finishing in the green. At the 3 p.m. close, the Dow Jones Industrial Average was higher by 34 points to 42,206. The Standard & Poor's 500 index slid 0.2% at 5,967, while the NASDAQ Composite Index fell 0.5% to close at 19,447. Locally, the Bloomberg St. Louis Stock Index was lower by 2.5 points to 1,538. Looking at stocks of local interest, Anheuser-Busch gained 0.3% at $71.19. Commerce Bank increased 0.5% at $60.74. Stifel Financial up 16 cents at $97.38. On the downside, Bear Corporation down 1.2% at $7.68. Also down 1.2% was Amdocs. They closed at $91.23. For KMOX, this has been Scott Bedell from Stifel Financial, member SIPC and New York Stock Exchange. For more information on our firm, please visit our website at stifel.com.
We've got a stalled vehicle 55 south at 255 on the right shoulder. Another stall 6440 westbound at the Mississippi River. That's got the right shoulder blocked. We've also got on 270 going south at 170. There's exit ramp closed. And 6440 westbound at Olive, there's a crash there that has the right lane blocked. Also in the Chesterfield Valley, a disabled vehicle 6440 going east at Long Road. That's got the 2 left lanes closed.
Plenty of sunshine this afternoon, but the temperatures are going up compared to yesterday, and so is the humidity. 92 should do it for the high. Tonight, clear, warm, and humid. Temperatures mainly in the 80s for evening plans. Only 78 for the low. We're going to feel that. On Saturday, sunny, hot, and humid. 96 for the high. The heat index 105, 78 Saturday night. Sunday, sunny, hot, and humid, 97. Heat index on Sunday afternoon, 105 to 107. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Sponsored by the U.S. Air Force Band of Mid-America, 4th of July concerts. We've got a cloudy sky. It's 90 downtown. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Celebrate Independence Day with a free concert by the U.S. Air Force Band of Mid-America. July 2nd, 7 p.m. at Logan University in Chesterfield. Showcasing patriotic music and more. Get free tickets at afbandtix.org. That's afbandtix.org.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 104.1 FM KMOX 306. Happy Friday to you. Going to be a hot one. Going to be a hot one at Busch on Sunday when Alvin Reed is at the game.
Oh, baby. Yeah.
Good man. Good man.
Made sure the seats were in the shade.
Oh,
and
good
also
move.
by
Smart.
the, kind of Redbird Club area or wherever that concourse is where we could step into the AC and enjoy a beverage there.
Nice.
So I see maybe 3 innings out and 3 innings in, and then we'll see.
He's doing the hokey pokey.
Yeah. And we'll see. We'll see where we're shaking it around after the 6th inning.
5 games to all 4 Cubs games. It's supposed to be mid-90s every day.
Every day.
Every single day. So
we're in one of those stretches now.
Yeah. So
it's summertime.
I asked Wheeler if I would give him $1 million if the guy got a hit and he can pick anyone from Major League Baseball from the past to get that one hit. And he picked Ichiro. Who are you picking?
I mean, any era?
Any era.
Probably Ted Williams.
Okay.
And then Tony Gwynn.
Okay.
So that'd be my top 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Ted was my second choice.
Okay.
I went with Ichiro because he's got the little because he's fast as hell and
he doesn't
have to hit it hard to get a hit.
Right. I said theoretically he could lay down a bunt. Theoretically he could get an infield hit.
But Ted's hard to argue, man. I mean, like nobody was better at getting hits.
What about Ty Cobb, Willie Mays?
Yeah, Ty Cobb for sure would be in that conversation. Because if you're talking about just a hit, you want contact people. You're not necessarily looking for power. If you're saying you need a home run, who are you taking? Probably Babe Ruth. I mean, relative to his time, he was hitting more home runs than whole teams. So if he could do that, I mean, I think you could take him in any era.
Yeah. So, okay, you okay talking some baseball?
Yeah, anytime, man. You know me.
Help me out because Albert was just saying that his thing is we got too many squishy players in the middle. I completely agree. Herrera's going down, or he's going to rehab.
He's on the injured list. Yeah, his hamstring.
So JC's coming up.
Yep.
What does this do for the next couple of series?
So for the time that Herrera's down, so when you look at some of the troubles that we've talked about with getting Gorman at bats, as an example, that should get easier because Herrera's not in the mix anymore. But that also means that Herrera's not going to catch anymore when they were already doing. But that should give more of an opportunity for Gorman to showcase himself, and he's been their best hitter in June. He and Burleson have been the two best hitters in June. So hopefully that means that we'll see a lot more of him. And then it means we're going to see JC because they won't have him here to not play at all. Like he'll be here to contribute, especially against lefties. And in the Red Series, they're facing two lefties. I'd be surprised if he doesn't start both of those games in some way because they're so left-handed with the guys we talk about: Burleson, Gorman, Nootbaar, all that. Not even counting Donovan, who you don't have to worry about against lefties. It doesn't matter. But I think JC has a chance to help you in this series in particular. And I think there's one lefty starter scheduled against you in the Cubs series too. So that's just 3 chances right there where he can help you.
You know what I would do? And this is based on conversations that we had Wednesday that, and I forget who it was that did some sort of a study, Wheels, it probably came from you, about resting people. Oh, yeah. I know Paul Goldsmith.
Yeah, it was.
That's why he's doing so much
Matt
better.
Pauley brought it up.
Yes. If I were a GM, that would, my money ball, my Roman Empire would be giving my key players more rest than any other team does. Now he's going to crap on it.
No, because there are teams doing it. Like rest and sleep are the two biggest frontiers in sports right now. I mean, if you look at the NBA, they get a lot of crap because their star players take maintenance days and they just don't play. So like the Lakers will go to Memphis and then LeBron's just not going to play. So all those people that bought tickets because they want to see LeBron and the Lakers, they're not going to see LeBron. So they're mad about it. And it's actually a thing the league is trying to balance because they also know that the rest is making players better. And it's not a coincidence that LeBron James is 40 and still top level player. Mm-hmm. And so it's 100% a thing to get more rest because back in look at it now. You know, Cal Ripken, that's not happening today. Nobody's ever setting that record ever again. It's never going to be touched. Nobody's going to play. If you play 162 games in 1 year, that'd be a big deal. And that's not going to happen over multiple years or anything like that anymore.
2 or 3 guys did it last year.
Yeah, and they're all guys that see time at DH.
Right. Oh, good point.
They're all guys that are going to be getting some days off in the field and not being. And they're not catchers. They're not shortstops. That's why like Mason Wynn, probably a guy that would be better with a little bit more rest. And maybe that maybe having JC around gives you that freedom to do that more than when he's not around.
It's an oddity, but what it took for Cal Ripken to play in all those games, and then you featuring rainouts and double headers and however they made up games and went all that. He set the record on my birthday. Hey. So it's not like, boy, a lot had to go into that happening. That's kind of like, never mind 1 in 365. That was more like 1 in a million because he had to play all those games. He also played in games that he should not have played in.
Yeah. Where he was bad because he was tired
and beat up and injured, and maybe not, to the point where he couldn't run or couldn't walk or couldn't swing a bat. But there would be a time where I think in today's game, general manager ownership would say, like, you're not playing, but that would be few and far between. I'm with you. I'm with you, David, that I would. And I think we particularly ran into this about 5-6 years ago with Yanni and some others where it's just like it's not up for debate. You're not playing tonight. In fact, you're not putting a glove on. You're not doing anything. If you don't want to come to the ballpark, that's fine with me. And I think Yadi would talk himself into the game, and nobody had the chutzpah to say, like, man, you're not playing. Not because you suck, but just because you're just not playing.
Yeah.
You need a day off, and we're off tomorrow, and we're flying, and we're playing a night game. So it's the equivalent of 2.5 days. Just don't play. And I think that's becoming more of a thing.
Oh, and it's every player, like this actually happened yesterday. Ollie Marmol wanted to give Nolan Arenado the second game off, and he refused and demanded to play because he's feeling good, right? He's hitting well right now, so you don't want to take time off when you're going well. And then guys don't want to take time off when they're struggling because they want to get right, so they feel like they need to play. Like at some point, this is not about Nolan; it's just about in general. At some point, the manager just has to say, "You're playing parent." Like I don't care. I don't care who you are. You're a Hall of Famer. I love you. You're great, but you're taking the game off because we need you to stay at your maximum level as long as possible. And whether that's Mason Wynn, whether that's Brendan Donovan, who did get a game off in Chicago, and it's the series like that against Chicago where that's when you want guys to take the time off. Because you can beat that team without your best guys, with those guys rotating out.
Right. Now, they could have lost both games yesterday. That's the way it goes. But, I mean, June 19th against the Chicago White Sox on the road, and you can't tell somebody you're not playing, and you're not playing. And these guys that are up from AAA that are going to be back in AAA, they're playing. They're playing 9 innings. I don't care what the score is. That's just the way it's got to be on this particular day. I get it, but it's like with the Cardinals, 5 out or 6 out now? The Cubs lost yesterday. They won. So I know that seems incredibly kind of close, but this is not the time to say we are independent run now. So no, you're not. You're in that run to try to get back to 10 over 500, then 15 or whatever. Don't play today. You're not playing today. And as you pointed out, Paul Goldschmidt, now maybe it's because they have embarrassment of riches with the Yankees and feel more comfortable letting their guys not play. But I mean, he's having an all-star season.
I think I found my manager, Alvin Reed.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, I could argue, I think there's a good point to be made. This is not trying to be overly critical or anything. It's just, maybe one of the reasons that Nootbaar's struggling as badly as he is because he's not had enough time off. I think he's started now something like 70 out of 75 games, and that's with just getting days off here recently because he's struggling, which means he wasn't getting any for the first 2.5 months.
Because he didn't play 2 straight games.
Right.
And he's not used to playing that many games in a row because he's usually hurt.
I was going to say, he's never, in a major league season, he's never played more than 115, 116 games. So he's on pace, as of, right now, he's on pace for 150 games played. And I'm not saying that you can't do that. That's not the point. It's just that, every guy's different. Mason Wynn is a young guy. He wants to play every day. He is your best option at shortstop. There's no question about that. But he's also a guy that has had back problems crop up twice in his first 2 major league seasons, once in each of those years. Maybe you want to maintain that. And I would also say he missed some time already this year. So he has
the wrist.
Right. He doesn't have that number of games that we're talking about. But even so, he's played 72 or not 72. He's played a lot less than that because of the injured list time. But those are guys that when you play too much, maybe that's when you notice offensive numbers starting to slide a little bit. Because the first thing you're going to notice when a guy's getting tired is the offense is going to slide a little bit.
Okay, flip it, because I am closet White Sox fan. Now, when does Will Venable, because yesterday, I thought the guy that pitched in the 7th inning, I just thought he just blew the game for the White Sox. At what point do you say to him, hey, you really let the team down today, and I know we're bad, but you were particularly bad. Is it too early for that when you're managing a sorry team, Wheels, or do you just have to play it game by game by game and acknowledge the fact that we're not very good, so I'm not going to bust anybody's chops in June?
No, you have to get on the guys because that's part of what you're getting a team to a higher level is making people live up to an expectation. Hey, if you want to stay here, that can't happen.
Okay.
Right?
That's how I was feeling.
If you want to have a career, you got to shut that down, or you've got to be able to overcome that issue, whatever the thing might be. But that was Cam Boozer yesterday, the left-hander.
And it was it's 4-2. You put up a fight in the first game, lost it late.
Yeah.
here's a chance. You're 4-2. It's kind of starting to rain. This is where, hey, if you could win this game, it would help us.
Yeah.
And
you could also blame him for not taking the guy out before the grand slam.
Yeah. Well, I agree. I agree with you
like
1,000% in that.
Not grand slam, but the home run.
Yeah. That kind of, right. And the same could be said for the Cardinals.
So you had a lefty in there, right? Thinking strategy, who had allowed 4 base runners, 3 base runners before the home run.
Yes.
Bases loaded. Well, had the bases loaded at one point, but obviously allowing a lot of traffic, and you're going to leave him out there to face Wilson Contreras, who's the best hitter on the other team, instead of going to a righty. But keeping in mind, you're managing a doubleheader. So in one game, you're using 5 relievers already, and you don't have that many left over because you only have 3 that you hadn't used. So like both of these teams had to deal with that. The Cardinals did.
No, I know 62 to 66 on the grand slam.
Can we cover the Shohei Ohtani Dodgers Padres thing in 2 minutes?
Which
just all of it.
Just the beanball stuff.
Just the beanball stuff.
Yeah, it was a heated series with the Padres and the Dodgers. A lot of hit by pitches. I think 7 in the series.
Yeah,
3 of those were Fernando Tatis Jr. And when he got hit last night, Mike Schilt lost it.
Yeah.
He came out of the dugout yelling at Dave Roberts. Those two came together. Looks like Roberts gave him a little bit of a shove. Wasn't a big one. It was almost accidental, but they kind of came into contact. The benches emptied. Schilt was pretty hot. And I think he has a right to be hot. And that's something that Tony La Russa would have been hot about. He did not think it was okay to hit batters, even by accident. Like he would tell other guys, tell other managers, if your guy can't throw the ball over the plate, get him out.
Right. And if you get hit at the top of the 9th inning and you have the lead,
and it was a 6-0 lead.
Yeah, and I have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Now I'm starting to lose it. I'm gonna win.
I don't think it was on purpose, but I get why you're mad.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I would be mad off that because I don't know if you hit him on purpose or not. Okay, so then they hit Ohtani. They hit Ohtani in the ass. Excuse me, or in the particular, like when they head hunting, and then everybody's still mad, and but it was coming to that, and the umpires gave warnings the night before, and I really don't think you ever have to really give a warning. You could just look at both and say, like, I have the power to throw somebody out. If I think they throw the ball at somebody, I'm going to utilize that power. So I think you could get that across to both teams without it getting to that point. But if my guy got hit with a 6-0 lead in the top of the 9th inning, I got a big problem with that because you're sending him out of you're trying to send him and his team out of town with the last word. And you're already going to take 3 out of 4 in the series.
Yeah,
I'd be hot.
That is the great Alvin Reed from Donnybrook. Thank you, Alvin.
Thanks. Anytime, man.
Another RX Watch, brought to you by Onder Law.
There's an evil new twist in the tragic story of baby powder and its link to ovarian cancer. Recently uncovered documents reveal that talc can contain asbestos.
The same asbestos that we know causes mesothelioma.
Right, and ovarian cancer.
In the 1970s, the industry wrote its own rules, allowing Johnson & Johnson to claim that its talc was asbestos-free, as long as it contained less than 1% asbestos.
Of course, Johnson & Johnson helped write those rules. So while we're using hazmat suits to remove the asbestos from our homes, Johnson & Johnson was telling women it's safe for their bodies.
Unbelievable. So if you've used talcum powder for feminine hygiene and contracted ovarian cancer, call Onder Law at 1-800-RX-WATCH.
They've already won several large verdicts against Johnson & Johnson for women just like you.
Call Onder Law at 1-800-RX-WATCH. That's 1-800-RX-WATCH or go to rxwatch.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
I'm Rhett. And I'm Link. And we're the hosts of the podcast Ear Biscuits. We're just 2 lifelong friends who've been talking about life for a long time.
From being dads to businessmen to all the random things we experience, nothing is off limits.
And now we're talking to you. We're answering your questions, giving advice that you may or may not want to take, and listening to your hilarious stories.
So leave us a voicemail to be part of the show at
1-888-EARPOD-1 on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast.
At University of Maryland Global Campus, we give our students credit where credit is due. Credit for deciding in the middle of rush hour traffic to go back and get their bachelor's and a promotion. Credit for managing 3 kids, 2 dogs, and a full-time job to pursue an MBA. And credit for serving in the military by day so they can study cybersecurity at night. For over 75 years, we've been helping students receive the credit they deserve. With more than 135 degrees and certificates, Students at UMGC can use prior learning or relevant experience to earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's, and graduate students can transfer up to 12 credits toward their master's. At UMGC, you'll find everything, online to hybrid courses, lifetime career services to scholarship opportunities, making your education journey flexible, fast, and affordable. Classes start soon. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
This is Tom Ackerman. This baseball season, take a swing at making entries on Underdog. Underdog is a leading place to make all of your sports selections, and you can now play in the state of Missouri. Underdog is one of the fastest growing sports game apps, millions of fans winning billions, and you should be next, especially with your baseball knowledge. All you have to do is download the app Underdog and choose whether a player will go higher or lower on one of their stats. That's it. And you can play with as little as $1 and win up to 1,000 times your money. $1 could turn into $1,000. Just download Underdog and use promo code TOM to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. That's promo code TOM. Must be 18 plus and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See underdogfantasy.com/web/deposit-match-terms. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Don't miss Mosby Building Arts Home Improvement Show, Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on KMOX. One of the last call-in shows where you can get live answers to your remodeling, design, and construction questions. Tune in Saturdays at 11 a.m.
Protect your liver and give it the support that it deserves by making Active Liver from New Nordic part of your daily wellness routine. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, or online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com.
You asked, we delivered. KMOX, now on FM. Crystal clear sound at 104.1 FM.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. Two numbers. What is the ideal field temperature for your air conditioner? And what is the ideal let's not spend a gazillion dollars? And there's a right answer to both these.
Oh, I say it's the same answer for me.
What's that?
It's always 70.
Okay. 70 is on the Canuce. That is exactly what most people say is the perfect field temperature. But 78 is what you're supposed to set it at.
You guys are going to flip out, but that's what mine is set out.
78?
Yeah, but I have a small apartment. The air conditioner works really well. And if you get a fan going too, you really don't need to set it lower than that.
Oh my
really
God.
don't.
I would be sweating so
I'm at
much.
80 half the time, actually.
Oh
Like, if
my
it's not
God.
super hot, it's like, put it up on 80. As
I
long
would-
as it kicks on every once in a while, it works very well.
I would have to walk around with towels to sit down on the couch. Yeah, 70's like perfect. And it's good at night too. And the basement's a little cooler than that. It's like 68, 67, just because basements are cooler. I live in the basement.
Basement dweller.
78. Yeah, no wonder
Yeah.
it's efficient because it
But-
never comes on.
Well, and whenever it does come on, the vent is blowing right on you. Because, like I said, it's a small place. It's not like I'm trying to fill up like a palatial
I get you.
mansion, you know.
Also, a writer has written an article on pit stains trying to normalize being pitted out, saying it's the summer, we sweat.
Yep.
That's one of the reasons we're still alive after a million years is that we sweat, and it's an advantage over predators and such. So just normalize it, get over it.
Amen.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Or just
I
stop
mean,
looking at my pits.
Yeah, I mean,
Is
I
there-
don't need anyone to normalize it for me.
Yeah, is there like a stigma around that?
I mean, sure. I'm sure there are people that are like, oh, gross.
Mm-hmm.
It's because of the people that never leave their houses. That's another thing I just never understand. Like, why would you look at someone and go, oh my God, that person's body is doing what it's built to do in the heat. That's terrible.
Gross.
Like, that's exactly what it's built to do, you dummy.
Couple of fun facts.
Yeah.
Madagascar reportedly got its name when Marco Polo sailed there, mistakenly thought he was in Mogadishu and misspelled Mogadishu so bad in his notes that it looked like Madagascar. Hot dogs
Very complicated.
got their name because in the 1800s, people suspected that sausages were stuffed with dog meat.
Oh.
What?
Mm-hmm.
So they were like, just call it a hot dog.
Let's call it a hot dog.
The people will eat it up.
That's super weird.
People were like, this is great.
Old timey people were weird. Of course, we're pretty weird too.
There's also a beer exchange bar in China where the prices fluctuate according to the demand in real time. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's fun.
Give me the one nobody else is drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buy low, sell high.
Yeah.
And did you guys realize today is the summer solstice, which means it's the longest day of the year, which for people like me is great because it means that every day after this gets shorter because I don't like the long days. I like them short. I like them dark. I like them cold. Like
All
my
right.
man.
It's like, I'm moving to Alaska.
Yeah, maybe that's why I'm so happy living there. Lombardo, Rach?
Yeah, did you know that Lombardo Homes can build on your land or property? It's a build on your lot program called Anywhere Lombardo. And, you know, building on your own lot can feel overwhelming. Most people don't really know what goes into building on their own land. And of course, every municipality has different rules and requirements. It's also easy for budgets to get out of control. You have some unanticipated expenses. Look, Lombardo Homes has done this over and over again. They are the pros. Let them help you and make the process so much easier on you than it would be otherwise.
Check it out, too. Some of their communities are not 55 and above. We're not in that business, but they are attached townhomes. So if you've ever been to a 55 and above and you're like, I love everything about this, maybe just not that everyone here is 55 and above, but there can be people in their 30s, people in their 50s, people in their 70s living there. But if you want something that doesn't have a lot of upkeep, but has beautiful walking trails and pools and gyms and clubhouses, check them all out at lombardohomes.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
Traffic from the michaelsflooringoutlet.com traffic center.
We've got stop and go volume now southbound on Highway 270 from about Ladue Road down to an earlier incident near Doherty Ferry. It had been blocking a center lane, so that's easing up south of Manchester Road. South of there, not bad, headed towards Highway 44 and Highway 55. A pocket of volume into downtown St. Louis, westbound 5564, approaching the Poplar Street Bridge from the Metro East. And it's thinning out in the valley. We had a couple incidents. We had one that was coming down the hill westbound on Highway 64 past Clarkson. It's over on the right shoulder at the end of the entrance ramp from Chesterfield Parkway West, not causing any issues. They also cleared an incident out of the way eastbound Highway 64 near Long Road. It's over on the right shoulder as well. Could be a little bit of volume approaching that scene. Still heavy out west, headed out towards Wentzville, westbound on Highway 64 between 364 and Wentzville, westbound on Highway 70 as well between Highway A and the merge with Wentzville, and Highway 64. I'm Frank Ladd in the michaelsflooringoutlet.com traffic center.
Are moles tearing up your yard? Don't let these lawn invaders turn your beautiful property into a mess. Rottler Pest Solutions offers professional mole control services to protect your lawn from damage. Visit Rottler.com today to schedule your free inspection.
Selling your car online sounds easy. Snap a few pics, list a price, then what? Wait weeks? Haggle with strangers? At Suntrip Ford, we actually make it easy to sell your car. Visit Suntrip Ford Kirkwood or Westport, and our expert appraisers will give you a fast, fair offer on the spot. Or skip the trip and get an instant quote at suntripford.com. No guesswork, no games, just the best price. Visit suntripford.com today. Get more. at Suntrup Ford.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind: to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my two sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-885-9700. 800-885-9700. That's 800-885-9700.
Weather sponsored by Renner Garage Door, forward and back, RENNER.
Cardinal Cowboy here. For over 65 years, Renner Garage Door has delivered top-notch service, sales, and installation. Get your free estimate today. RennerDoorSTL.com. Renner, forward and back.
RENNER. RENNER.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 334. Time to talk to Dave Murray. Hello, Dave.
Hello there.
Dave Hines online says, Dave Glover, did you enjoy the summers in Alaska? I was in Fairbanks for a bit, and I loved the summers. Dave, I enjoyed every minute I was in Alaska. I was there about 3 years off and on, and I loved the summers. I remember coming home in taxi cabs at 3 in the morning, and it was as light out as it is now. I loved the winters. I didn't mind the darkness. I didn't mind the cold. So I just loved Alaska. Dave, you been up there?
I have not.
Oh, that's surprising.
Not
Seems like something
all.
you and Janice might dig.
Yeah, it is kind of on our list. The my folks, when they were alive, they took our son there, and my brother's daughter.
No, that's nice.
Great trip.
Yeah.
Great trip. He still talks about it, and it was years and years ago.
Yeah. When I would fly up there, we'd fly through Seattle, and it was always me, my paralegal, and everyone going on a cruise, so kind of the same clientele all the time, but super cool. So, I mean, I guess we know for the weekend, right?
Yep. And it's that, these, once a dome of summer takes over, and that's what this is, big old high pressure system, they are very tough to move out. We may get a little push or a little nudge at the thing come Wednesday of next week, but I never bet against the dome of summer. It just really takes something to move it. Sometimes it takes a hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico to move it. And so for the time being, today, the transition day, I mean, it wasn't horrible today by any means.
Not terrible.
No. And this evening's going to be okay, but it only cools off to about 78 overnight. And that's the key. The city environment is not going to cool down much at night compared to the surrounding neighborhoods where the city might only get down to 78, 79 degrees. Most of us will get down to about 71, 72. That's not bad. We can kind of deal with that this time of year, but we're talking Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, sunny, hot, and humid. There'll be a hint of a breeze tomorrow from the south. We're talking 98 for the high on Saturday. The heat index 105 to 107. Hottest part of the day is from about 3 to 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Same thing on Sunday, same thing on Monday, same temperatures. The record tomorrow is 99 from 1988. So we're going to be really close to a record. I'm going 98. Then the record on Sunday is 102 from 1930. And the record on Monday is 101 also from 1930. Temperatures in the 30s and the 50s were bears.
Huh. Wheels, I know we're not playing on AstroTurf anymore, whitey ball, but how bad does it get down on the field on a weekend like this?
So if you're out there on your like youth leagues, because I mean all of us play on turf at various points. whether it's at a big facility or a high school or college field. 115. That'll be the temperature that the turf is itself, and then obviously radiating up. I mean, I've had the artificial turf. I've had it melt the bottoms off my shoes. Wow.
Whoa.
Like where you have like panels that are glued onto the bottom of your shoe. The panels just come off.
So you're obviously keeping a really close watch on the kids.
Absolutely. I mean, yes. And if you are, if you're out this weekend, I don't think it's just baseball, but baseball time of year, which is what I know, but probably some soccer going on and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Do not stop drinking water ever. Like you should be drinking for days in advance. In fact, this time of year, every day, nonstop. Tell your kids no energy drinks. 14-year-olds do not need energy drinks. 15-year-olds do not need energy drinks. 12-year-olds do not need them. They badly dehydrate you.
What about Mountain Dew Summer Freeze Edition?
Yeah, like again,
that's fine.
Is that fine? Is that a substitute for water?
That's actually better than water.
That's kind of what I've been thinking.
If you're hanging out indoors, do what you love. If you're going to be playing sports at 100 degrees, it should be full-on Gatorade, like with sugar, and it should be water, nonstop, all day, every day.
Yeah, I've not heard...
Also, if you feel a little wheezy,
sit down.
If you're out playing, pull yourself out of a game or sit down, ice, water, just maybe drench yourself with water. But the body gives you some subtle signs that things are not going well.
So the things that I do and that we do, like a lot of smart parents do, or that we'll do too, is you bring the biggest cooler that you have and fill it with ice, like real ice, and then make one of them just for towels, and bring 5 or 6 smallish towels and soak them in there. When you need to, come to the bench, put them around your neck, put them over your head, wherever. There's all kinds of ways to battle the heat. And look, if you're playing and I would say tomorrow and Sunday, if it's past 10, 11 a.m., it's going to be bad. Right. So you have to plan and make your kid drink water, Gatorade, juices, not soft drinks, not energy drinks. And don't eat stupid breakfasts. I get so many kids like, I had a donut for breakfast. Great job, dude. No wonder you're puking over on the side. Be smart with how you're eating.
Wow. It's a lot of info.
It's valuable info.
Hey, listen, I learned a lot of this the hard way in college because I was a Midwestern kid that went to Miami, and every day was like this all the time. And it was always 90+% humidity and 90 to 95, 96 degrees. Feels like was always 100. We had actual old school, like whitey ball AstroTurf, and it was 115 to 120 on that turf every day. So I learned the hard way by passing out twice when I was a freshman.
Brian saying, remember high school football practice in 90+ degrees? We maybe got one water break for like 5 minutes. It's one of my core memories. Doubles practice in high school, 8 a.m., 3 p.m., and I lived 5 miles from the field and rode my bike, me and Brad Wells.
Yep.
Oh,
yep.
Just the worst.
Yep. And amazing how stupid people were.
Yeah.
About how we did all that stuff. Like water makes you soft. Like, no, it keeps you from dying.
I still don't understand the mechanisms, but they would give us salt pills. And so your mouth is already as dry as it's ever been. And then you put a big thing of salt in it. It was just like, are you just torturing us?
That's another thing people say. Like, I don't do this, but other people will tell you to like throw a little bit of table salt or something in your water in the morning.
Yeah. David's saying, Wheels, do you recommend the old school Gatorade powder? Or do you like the?
I don't think it matters. I as long as it's the fully, full with sugar, because you need the sugar to get the electrolytes going where they need to. And then Matthew asked, "What's a good breakfast?" So like lots of fruit's a good breakfast, like mixed in, but fruit and like not greasy protein. So like some eggs are okay if you have like turkey sitting around. You don't have to be like true breakfast food, but like anything with milk or anything that's heavy, biscuits, bad idea. Just a bad idea. Maybe turkey sausage and eggs and things like that. You don't want to be, you got to eat and you have to have energy, and then you got to bring stuff. But I always say bring grapes and apples and stuff like that, and bring some lunch meat or whatever in a cooler.
Learn from Uncle Dave. I had McDonald's breakfast on the way to a college track meet in the middle of the summer, and in the 100-yard dash, I pooped myself.
Oh,
yeah. That was quite.
Did it make you go faster?
It made me go way slower.
Do you remember what your breakfast, like what the McDonald's breakfast was?
Oh yeah,
What was it?
2 Egg McMuffins, hash browns, and a soda.
Yeah.
Yum.
Yeah, I saw those hash browns again.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I don't think,
Speaking my language.
to be honest, I don't think the Egg McMuffin is that bad for this kind of thing. Right?
It was that day.
Yeah. I mean, like, well, 2 of them's a lot.
I
And then,
McMuffined myself.
but the hash browns and the Coke probably did you in as much as anything.
Yeah. No, I had a great 40 time, a decent 60 time, and then I hit 70, and I'm like, oh, I should gear this down a little bit.
Yeah. The advice I give the kids that I coach when it's hot like this about eating is try to eat small amounts constantly as opposed to like a big breakfast.
Yeah.
You don't want to be totally weighted down. So protein bars, things along the like, bring all that stuff and just eat every couple of hours, but just eat enough to keep you fueled up.
Yeah.
As opposed to like, oh, I got all day. Let's have a huge breakfast with waffles and donuts and pancakes. Don't do that.
Yeah.
You'll feel sick.
Dave's wondering how the people at the track meet are telling that story. I don't think anyone knew.
Oh, you kept it.
Yeah. I
contained?
faked a hamstring because I had to put my hand to cover what I thought was happening. So I'm like,
Even with the short shorts.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
It was the
Dave.
80s.
Dave's like holding the shorts down.
Yeah, they were like 3 inches.
Yeah.
Which was about, yeah.
Were they white?
They were red.
Okay.
Thank goodness.
That helped.
But then it got in my head, which will surprise absolutely no one. But every race after that, I was just like, I don't know what so I wouldn't eat anything.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
One extreme to the other.
Yeah.
Look, I would rather be slow with no energy than McPoopin.
Yeah.
Do a couple headlines, right?
Sure. Headlines is brought to you by Schnucks. Reward yourself daily with the Schnucks Rewards app. So Vice President J.D. Vance was off to kind of a rocky start on Blue Sky. This is the social media platform that a lot of people have left Twitter for. He was suspended and he also received backlash from Democrats who kind of view the platform as a liberal safe space. So they were wondering why he would join that platform. Vance's account was flagged as a possible imposter shortly after his first post. There were tons of hateful comments and criticisms from users. Blue Sky quickly restored Vance's account with the platform stating they welcome the vice president to engage in discussions on the platform.
I know that he wouldn't change it, and probably neither. If anyone was offered the vice presidency, they would take it. But I feel like it was too early for him. Like he needs a little more time to cook. You know, he's already a senator. He could have been a senator for 20 years. He's only 39 years old. I just feel like he got picked too raw.
I understand that.
He has the right friends.
He is quite young compared to the rest of them.
Yes.
So
It's about that one thing that I appreciate about him is that finally somebody in a generation younger than my parents is in a position of some kind of power.
Yeah. Yeah, he's 40 years younger than some of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. A black bear is finally freed of a lid that was stuck on its neck for 2 years. It was a blue barrel lid. This happened in Michigan. State wildlife experts tried to locate the bear. He was first seen as a cub in 2023, and they would see him on trail cameras, but he was very elusive. Finally, a resident alerted the Michigan Department of Natural Resources after seeing the bear on his property. They were able to trap and sedate the bear and remove the plastic lid before releasing it back into the woods. The bear was actually in better condition than expected, even though there was some scarring and missing hair on his neck. But we're glad that he's free now. That's great.
Exact same thing happened to one of my cousins from Southern Illinois.
Get to trap him, sedate him. The Stanley Cup was damaged as the Florida Panthers celebrated their second straight championship. Apparently, it was cracked and the bottom was dented. Is this common though, Wheels? I would assume this happens pretty much every time they take it out.
I think so.
At least with Florida, it is.
Yeah, so they get a little wild with it. I'm sure it needs repairs after every party.
Shouldn't they just give him a fake one?
I mean,
let them go crazy with the
have
fake
a
one.
double.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same, but it's just not the real one.
Yeah.
One more story here. The Dodgers say they blocked federal agents from entering stadium grounds. Did you guys see this tweet?
Yeah,
They
I said that wasn't them.
Yeah, they said ICE tried to get out here and we told them no. And then ICE was like, this never happened. And I'm going, okay, guys. Well,
Why would the Dodgers make that up?
yeah, that is.
is
Why
kind
would
of a
they make
strange
it
lie.
up out of the blue? That
Yeah, I mean,
seems a
what's
little
what's
strange.
more likely?
the
The Dodgers
story-
said, let's invent a story, or it actually happened and now they're saying, oh, well, we want to avoid
The
embarrassment.
story that I've seen is that it was actually California Border Patrol, not ICE, but that it is effectively impossible to tell them apart because they show up in unmarked vehicles and they have balaclavas over their whole faces and big wraparound sunglasses and stuff, so you can't tell who they are, which is its own kind of shady, if you ask me, frankly.
Also, the Dodgers have been taking a lot of heat since all the protests.
Yeah, because they haven't said anything. Yeah.
Right. They finally said something, I think, yesterday.
Yeah.
But
I just realized that I call balaclavas baklavas.
Leading up to saying it, I was like, God, I hope I'm saying the right one.
Yeah.
I'm going to look so stupid if I say a dessert.
I try to avoid it.
I like to wear dessert.
Smart.
I say face covering. Thanks, Dave. Have a great weekend.
You too.
Tell you guys about Michael's Baths. And, Mike has a great thing going. He really, truly does. It would be like if there were radio stations out there that had the same ratings that I do, but my ads are 50% less expensive because Mike does the same thing the Bath Fitter does. He does the same thing the 3-Day Kitchen and Bath does, but he does it 30 to 50% less expensively. You're not going to suffer at all. You're not going to get an inferior product. You're certainly not going to get inferior labor. It's just that Mike he only owes me. Right? Me and Trish are the only ones that he uses for advertising. So he is not kicking money upstairs regionally or nationally for big national television budgets. So he can save you that money, and he does every single day. He has about 10 crews out there working who he has trained personally himself. Mike has done nothing but bathroom remodeling for the past 30 years, doesn't do kitchens, doesn't do general construction. He's not knocking out walls. He will take $500 off your job if you are replacing a tub or a shower. He'll take $1,000 off a full bathroom remodel. If you're a disabled veteran, you get all of that for no money out of your pocket because you have earned a VA benefit. 636-775-0800, michaelsbaths.com.
Traffic from the michaelsflooringoutlet.com traffic center.
Well, you've got a new crash. It's downtown in the depressed section. It's Highway 44 westbound. It's over on the right shoulder, but they just pulled an additional emergency vehicle up to the scene. Now it's blocking that right lane. It's right by the south leg of the arch. If you can look at the depressed section, headed westbound on Highway 44. So you're delayed through the depressed section, back to almost the Stan Musial Veterans Memorial Bridge now through downtown. South of there, not bad. Headed towards Highway 55 southbound and the rest of Highway 44 westbound. Seeing some delays southbound on Highway 270 this afternoon between Olive and Highway 64. Stop and go in that stretch. You're off the pace as well between Manchester and Doherty Ferry southbound on Highway 270. The ramp is partially blocked. Tesson Ferry from southbound Highway 270. Use some caution if you're approaching that scene there. And out west, we're still seeing delays westbound on Highway 64 now between 364 and Wentzville, westbound Highway 70 between Lake St. Louis, west of Lake St. Louis, the Highway A area out to Wentzville as well. And we're sponsored by the Penn Mutual Life Insurance Company. Are you considering life insurance? Penn Mutual's accelerated client experience makes applying for life insurance fast and easy. Ask your independent advisor or go to pennmutual.com/STL. I'm Frank Ladd in the michaelsflooringoutlet.com Traffic Center.
The legends ride again. Willie Nelson and the Outlaw Music Festival is rolling back into St. Louis June 28th at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater. Don't miss the living legends, Willie Nelson, Bob Dylan, along with Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats, and more, live right here in St. Louis. This is country the way it was meant to be. Tickets are still available, so get them before they're gone. More information can be found at kmox.com/events.
Hospital Sisters Health System isn't just in your community. We're part of it. Expert care and genuine support backed by a network that puts your health first. HSHS, connected to our community, committed to your health. Visit hshs.org/caring.
Hey, it's Matt, your leaf filter trusted pro. Gutters are an often neglected part of the home. They're also one of the most important. Clogged, overflowing gutters can cause serious problems like foundation damage or basement flooding, which can cost thousands of dollars to fix. Let's face it, cleaning gutters yourself is not only a hassle, it can be dangerous. But when you get Leaf Filter, you'll never have to worry about cleaning clogged gutters again. Get started today by visiting leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free inspection. If you decide to move forward, we'll professionally clean, realign, and seal your gutters before installing our patented stainless steel micro mesh system. Leaf Filter keeps out everything but the water. And it's backed by a lifetime transferable no clogs warranty. So you're protected for good. We're in your neighborhood and ready to help. Visit Leaf Filter today for a free inspection and estimate, and you could save up to 30%. Visit leaffilter.com/deal. That's leaffilter.com/deal.
Another RX Watch, brought to you by Onder Law.
Welcome back to RX Watch. This alert is disturbing.
Right. A while back, we learned that companies like Johnson & Johnson use a mineral called talc in baby powder and other products.
And studies show that talc, when used for feminine hygiene, can cause ovarian cancer.
Now listen to this. RX Watch has learned that the talc they use is being mined in China.
Right, and talc mined in China contains heavy metal contaminants like chromium and magnesium, which are known to cause cancer. But China doesn't care.
So China gets the jobs and we get contaminated talc in our baby powder.
And ovarian cancer.
Right. With their specialized tests, the medical team at Onder Law can help you know if your ovarian cancer was caused by talc.
Onder Law has helped women for years with free and confidential consultation. You need to call Onder Law's pharma attorneys at 1-800-RX-WATCH.
Call Onder Law at 1-800-RX-WATCH.
That's 1-800-RX-WATCH or go to rxwatch.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
You know how we all grew up fearing quicksand?
Oh, yes.
An 80-year-old man was rescued from a quicksand bog on his property.
Whoa.
He slid down a 20-foot embankment into quicksand mud, which he didn't know was on his property, and he was up to his neck and trying to do all the Gilligan stuff, like, you know, throwing vines and trying to this and trying to that. And someone heard him screaming and came, and they had to pull him out with, like, horses or...
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
I didn't know quicksand was real.
Yeah, it's evidently like it's really, really rare. And it's just basically the mixing of dirt, mud, and water. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't like suck you down like sentiently.
Right, you're just gonna sink.
But every time you move, you're never going up. You're only going down. So the best you can do is try to float it. Yeah.
I don't want that for me.
I don't want that for me either.
Do not like.
No.
That and sinkholes. I'm like, how is this the thing I
Yeah,
have to
how
worry
is that a
about?
thing?
I guess I have to worry about like falling into a sinkhole and dying.
There's a guy over at Gateway playing 10 years ago, Wheels, remember this one? And he just disappeared, boop, into a 20-foot sinkhole. His size. Just cover it up.
No thanks.
With me in there. Put a manhole cover down. Make a marker where people are like, you're 150 yards out. This is where Dave Glover died. Tell you guys about Triton Exteriors. Really, really love this company. Love Tim, the owner. He's a fellow barbecue buddy, and he is from the restaurant business before he got into construction, and he was shocked, absolutely mouth open, slack-jawed, shocked at how non-existent customer service is. It's not just bad. It just doesn't exist. People treat you poorly. They treat you discourteously, unprofessionally. They'll lie straight to your face by design. They'll tell you they'll take 2 days to finish the job, knowing it's going to take 2 weeks by the time weather happens and they have to go do Mrs. McGillicuddy. She's complaining about this or that. At Triton, we don't play that game. We tell you exactly what it's going to be, and we stand by it. And if something deviates, we tell you why it's deviating. We're going to make you some sort of accommodation. Call 314-717-1159 if you need roofing, siding, gutters, or fences. Triton-STL.com.
Everyone needs to have at least one person in their corner in life. When you don't, it's an extremely lonely and frightening place to be. But knowing you have that one person gives you peace and hope. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Since 1988, myself and my firm have been in so many corners for so many clients for so many years. We became the largest injury firm in the world for a reason, and it's not even close. We fought like hell for you. We fight the bullies, automobile insurance companies, the makers of unsafe products, medical providers who injured or killed their own patients. It has been such an honor and made my life complete. If you ever need us, it's easy. On your mobile device or computer, visit forthepeople.com, and then we get to work 24/7. Whether you're hurt in a car crash, injured on the job, or have questions about your Social Security, we're here for you. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free